the newest Twins pitcher, Bartolo Colon. He is new to this team, but he has been in the game for 20 years. Colon is making his 514th start of his big league career tonight. He'll try to help the Twins win back-to-back games over the Yankees. It was a dramatic win last night in game number 1. Tonight is game 2 of the 3-game series in Minneapolis. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. And good evening from Target Field. Once again, I'm Marnie Gelner. It is the biggest storyline of this game tonight, and it is also the biggest unknown as Bartolo Colon makes his Twins debut. Paul Molitor talked today about how big it would be if Colon is successful, for the obvious reason that the Twins need a 5th starter, but also because, as Molitor said, Colon is just one of those characters in the game, and when he succeeds, it's magnetic. The fans resonate with that, and the teammates of Colon will too. He said it's just something that will carry on and will be a huge way to give life to this team. The numbers in 20 years of baseball, over 3,000 innings pitched, and a 4-time All-Star, including last season. Bartolo Colon won the Cy Young Award in 2005 with the Angels when he won 28 games. And his new Twins teammates are pretty impressed with the career that Colon has had.
He's a legend to me, you know. Grew up watching him play, and yeah, I think someone said Barrios was 2 years old when he made his debut, so I was probably around the same age.
You know, we reminisced a little bit about how many teams he's played for, and I asked him if he remembered facing me, and he said, yeah, I broke 3 of your bats. So I said, I don't remember that part of the story, but thank you for reminding me. So he goes, yeah, 2-seamer, right on your hands. So I trust his memory more than mine. So.
No, I followed him a little bit when he came back from that elbow problem, and he started throwing a lot of 2-seamers. So it was interesting for me to watch how he dominated the league for a while by throwing one pitch. So actually made me a little more confident in what I was doing. If he can do it as a starter, why can't I do it as a reliever with 1 inning? So it was actually, I learned a little bit about just by watching from afar.
It's very impressive because after you come out and throw 100 and now you don't have the type of velocity, and then you navigate through the heaters and all that, and then you just knowing now that you're not going to be throwing that hard, and you get success throwing like 80, 90, 92, 91, and hit the spot whatever you want. So that's what he's been doing the last couple of years.
20 years in the big leagues, and he's still going, basically utilizing 3 pitches. Dick and Bert look at how Colon has stayed in this game so long. Coming up next.
Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Toyota. Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer are ready for what your summer brings. Hurry in to your nearest Jeep dealer for the clearance event of the summer. It's turned into a beautiful night for baseball. Game 2 between the Yankees and the Twins. Bartolo Colon making his Twins debut here tonight. He is 44 years old and still going, and the Twins hope that he still is going strong. Second on the list among active pitchers in terms of innings pitched. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick and Bert with you for Game 2 between the Twins and the Yankees. Yes. It was 20 years ago, and the Twins saw a lot of Bartolo Colon because he was pitching for the Cleveland Indians within the Twins division. Back then, he could reach 100 miles per hour and carry that velocity into the 8th inning. He is not that guy anymore.
No, after 3,200 innings in 20 years, of course, you're not going to be the same, 22-year-old when you first came up. But Bartolo Colon, how does he do it now? Well, he throws a lot of fastballs, believe it or not. Now you're going to see one that's 91. Then you're going to see 87, 85. He's almost like a catfish hunter, a little bit of a slider, and then he mixes it and changeup. Hey, God bless this guy. 44 years old, still has it in his heart to want to compete, and hopefully it's a good outing here tonight.
Had some really good years with the Mets, gone off to a bad start this year with the Atlanta Braves, and tonight he'll make his Twins debut as the Twins hope to clinch this series against the Yankees. For the first time as a member of the Twins, taking on the Yankees, a team he pitched for back in 2011. And you can see the oldest active players: Ichiro, 43 years, 269 days; R.A. Dickey, Koji Uehara, Jason Grilli. And the Twins having Colon the pitch in Rochester, and now he's with the big league club. Joe Girardi really tipping his cap figuratively to Colon and his ability to maintain his big league career so late in life. Here's the Menards batting order for the Yankees. Brett Gardner leading off. Gary Sanchez, Aaron Judge, Matt Holliday, Didi Gregorius, Clint Frazier, Chase Headley, Garrett Cooper, and Ronald Torreyes.
Why wouldn't you want to compete? If it's in your heart that you feel you can still do it. Now, he had some frustrating games with the Atlanta Braves. They ended up letting him go. The Twins picked him up, but those numbers are behind Bartolo Colon right now. He's got a new job, and his job here is to hopefully pitched 5-6 quality innings.
Missing inside to Gardner, ball one. Gardner, Sanchez, and Judge in the first inning. Gardner didn't play in the game last night. Yankees had a tough weekend with 16-inning game and then a doubleheader the next day at Fenway Park. Lifted to left, and retreating is Rosario. Under it now for the catch, one away.
Yeah, Colon not the strikeout pitcher he once was, but one thing that Colon does, he attacks the strike zone. Over his career, he's averaged just 2.5 walks per 9 innings.
The Twins in the field, brought to you by Northland Ford. Rosario, Granite, and Kepler in the outfield. Sano, Polanco, Dozier, Mauer, the infielders, and Castro catching again tonight. One down and out, Gary Sanchez.
That Twins uniform, the 10th different major league uniform that Colon now has worn. Started with the Cleveland Indians back in 1997.
Down and in, ball one to Gary Sanchez.
He has some movement on that fastball. Again, 32, just over 3,200 innings pitched, 908 walks, 20 or just over 2,400 strikeouts, and 235 wins.
Down and away now, 2-0. Don't expect 98, 99, or 100. He did that 20 years ago, and as we said, sustained that velocity into the late innings. He was a workhorse for the Indians.
Won the Cy Young Award when he was with the Angels in 2005, when he went 21-8 in 33 starts.
Wrap to third, to Harper, right to Sano. 2 down.
I think Justin Morneau, who was our guest on the pre and post, said it the best way. I mean, he was 1 for 14 against Cologne. He says, I know what was coming. I just all of a sudden, you know the pitch is coming. You're ready to hit, and then you hit a ground ball to short.
Take a look at our Quicken Loans Rocket Arms strikeout leaders among active players, pitchers. CC Sabathia with the Yankees not pitching in this series, and then Colon, Felix Hernandez, and Justin Verlander. Aaron Judge takes ball one, and Colon has fallen behind all 3 batters. Judge having a tough time since the All-Star break. And there's a strike on the outside corner.
Adalberto Mejia last night threw Judge a lot of sliders. He ended up striking them out in his first at bat.
Swing and a miss at 89 miles per hour.
If you watch, the speed of his pitches, I referred him to Catfish Hunter. Catfish had excellent control, didn't have an overpowering slider or anything, but he just painted both sides. Jim Perry did that in 1970 when he won the Cy Young for the Twins.
How about that for a first inning for Bartolo Colon? A fly ball, a ground ball, and a punch out of Aaron Judge. Half inning, the Fan Express winners arrived at Target Field earlier tonight to enjoy a great game. Go to enterpromo.com/Cub for a chance to ride the Fan Express to a Twins game this season.
Nice bus.
Go Twins.
Very nice. Nice way to get to the ballpark. Brian Dozier in the box to get things started, and he takes a pitch up high, ball 1.
Twins will be facing 25-year-old Luis Sissa in his 3rd stint with the Yankees.
When you look at the Menards lineup, Dozier thought that pitch was outside. It's Dozier, Granite, and Mauer. Sano, Kepler, and Grossman. Rosario, Polanco, and Castro. 1-1. Brian Dozier. And now 1-2.
Sissa, 25 years old. I mentioned his 3rd stint with the Yankees this year. 0-3, an ERA just over 4. Making his 4th start and his 7th appearance overall.
1-2. And now 2-2.
Making his first career start against the Twins. His 2nd game. He did face the Twins last year in relief in New York back on June 26, an inning and 2/3. Gave up only 1 run. That was a home run to Eduardo Nunez.
And now a full count with Granite on deck. Ball 4, and Dozier takes a leadoff walk. Northland Ford defense for the New York Yankees. Clint Frazier in left, Brett Gardner in center, Aaron Judge in right. Chase Headley, Didi Gregorius left side of the infield, Torres and Cooper on the right side of the infield, and Sanchez back behind the plate.
Yeah, Yankees are about the middle of the pack as far as errors committed. 56 on the year. Twins 2nd behind the Kansas City Royals. They've made only 45 errors.
Here's Zach Granite. 2 hits, 18 at bats so far in the big leagues. Down and in, ball 1. Granite, as we mentioned last night, grew up a big Yankee fan. His dog is named Jeter. Now getting a chance to play presumably all 3 games against the team he grew up rooting for. Outside 2-0. Talked to him yesterday. He's got his dad and some other relatives here, and he said they're probably here to see the Yankees. I'm going to have to get 2 hits just to get them to start rooting for me.
As long as they're not wearing Yankee jerseys.
2-0. 3-0 with Mauer on deck.
Sissa came into the ballgame working 23 2/3 innings, 7 walks, 17 strikeouts. He's allowed 3 home runs. Most of the year spent in AAA for the Yankees.
And to the mound, Sanchez for a 1st inning visit.
He's got a report on Sissa when he's on. A sinking fastball in the low 90s, a slurve type breaking ball, a slider, and a changeup. Came up a little bit last year with the Yankees. Made 9 starts, 17 relief appearances, 4 wins, 4 losses last year.
Wow. Back-to-back walks to start the ball game, and Mauer set up for a big 1st inning at bat. But first, let's hear from Arnie Gelner.
Checking on our car scoop from the clubhouse with Jorge Polanco back at shortstop tonight. Paul Molitor said he really wants to see Polanco going because, as Paul said, there's a whole lot in there that can really help this team. Craig Breslow has been activated from the disabled list. Molitor really wanted to have an 8th reliever out in that bullpen. And the Twins have put Phil Hughes on the 60-day DL. He is most likely done for the season, having a lot of problems related to that thoracic outlet syndrome. Same problems he had last year. He was actually experiencing numbness in his fingers when he would pitch. And needless to say, guys, Phil and the Twins are really disappointed that this is the way the season is probably going to end for him.
Really tough break for Phil. That's a really tough break. 1 strike to Mauer. He had part of the rib taken out last year. And then the symptoms returned, and Paul Molitor suggested that at least a possibility was to have, you know, the rest of the rib taken out, another major surgery. 1 strike to Mauer. And now strike 2 taken.
Well, he went with a fastball to get ahead, and then the breaking ball, the slider. And Fox Tracks has caught the corner down and in.
Wasn't where Sanchez caught it. It's where the ball crossed the plate. 2 strikes. A couple of walkers aboard. Checked his swing, 1 and 2.
Good take right there by Joe. Another good breaking ball down and in. And Joe able to lay off of it. I think Joe's always had a very good eye at the plate, and he'll go deep into the count usually. So able to hold up on that good breaking ball down.
And now it's 2 and 2. Sessa got ahead of Dozier and lost him to a walk. Got ahead of Bauer 0-2, and now it's 2-2. In between, you want Granite on 4 pitches. "14 pitches and only 4 strikes for Luis Sessa. Converted infielder, and he's still learning the finer points of pitching. One of the elementary things is throwing strikes.
He's pitched in the minor leagues for the Mets and the Tigers.
Just outside.
Boy, that's a good pitch right there. Wow. That's the eye that Joe has. Able to lay off of this pitch. See what Fox Track says. He got the call down and in with that slider. He didn't get it with that fastball down and away. Scott Berry behind the plate, the home plate umpire.
Full count. See what the runners do here. They stay put, and Mauer taps it to the right side. Out there and a double play. The tag is called by Ramon DeJesus, and here comes Paul Molitor.
Yeah. I don't believe that Torres touched Granite, and Granite, I don't think he was in on the grass. I think they're going to take a look at it, maybe, if they can. Take a look right here, see where Granite is.
He did not run out of the baseline.
No, I don't believe he touched him.
Never touched him.
No.
And they will take a look at it. And I think they will find that Torres did not touch Granite. So Mauer taps out, but we believe the call will be overturned, and the Twins will have runners at second and third with 1 out, and Sano due up. Paul Molitor looking at the video board replay. Fans reacting to what they perceive as a miss tag.
You can see right there, no tag was made. Reyes does the right thing, charges the ball, and then tries to tag Granite. And Granite, if he runs on the grass side, the umpire could say he ran out of the baseline.
Well, you can see his tracks. I mean, the infield is still moist from being sprinkled before the game, and
it didn't take too long. See what the result is.
Safe. So runners at second and third, and 1 out. And a potentially big call. And it's not very often you'll see Paul Molitor or any manager ask for a review in the first inning. If that call isn't reversed, then the Twins are stuck with whatever calls are on the field. Scott Berry has the plate. Quinn Wolcott at first, Ramon DeJesus at second, and Brian Onora at third. And we'll see how aggressively Sessa pitches Sano with a base open and 1 out.
See, Dick, that's why I like the instant replay, because even though DeJesus, the second base umpire, he maybe didn't have the angle,
right,
you know, to actually see it.
And we're talking about a first inning call here that could decide the game.
Right.
If it's second or 2 outs and a runner at third, Sano's retired. The Twins don't get anything out of it. And who knows where this inning might lead now with the call having been challenged and corrected. Oh, Sano gets smoked in the hand. And he'll walk to first, and Kepler will come up with the bases loaded.
Third hit batsman of the season for Sissa. You know, he's just trying to go fastball in and just got it too far inside. Sano looking at that left wrist area.
Right up around the knob of the bat, which may have helped cushion some of the blow.
No, I don't think so. Ouch. Watch the ball where it goes. Ouch. Goes right off to the side toward the Twins dugout. So it was a straight blow. It wasn't a glancing blow off of the wrist of Sano.
Larry Rothschild with a quick trip to the mound. And now home plate umpire Scott Berry trying to separate Sanchez and Sessa. And Sessa has pitched himself into a really tough spot here. Kepler at the plate, bases loaded, only 1 out. Kepler 260, 10 home runs, 40 runs batted in, and a chance to put together a really big at bat here in the first inning. Twins had the bases full a couple of times last night. We told you they've yet to hit a grand slam this year.
Had a chance to pick up some ribbies right here. Third with the Twins as far as runs batted in with 40. Brian Dozier second behind Sano.
Smothered by Sanchez. Sessa has thrown 19 pitches and only 5 strikes.
Sinking fastball. Sanchez blocks it, keeps it in front of him.
Take a strike here.
I don't know. I mean, you know, Kepler's pretty aggressive hitter. You got to look one pitch. I'm sure fastball, something about thigh high that he could drive somewhere.
Swing and a miss.
Ball a little bit out over the plate, but at 95 miles an hour.
Sano among the league leaders with 62, then Dozier 46, and then Kepler.
And Kepler having a good month of July. He is 0 for his last 7, but in the month of July hitting .356.
Three and one.
Tried to change up right there. Now he's put himself back into that fastball mode.
Joe Girardi saying, well, now his bullpen's in good shape after last night's game, and now his starter tonight is really shaky with his control in the first inning.
For the 2-0 pitch, he went with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that Kepler swung through.
3 and 1 to Max Kepler. Popped up near the Yankee dugout. 2 down.
Well, he went with a fastball again. This one up in the zone as the 2-0 pitch was, and this one Kepler gets underneath it, pops it straight up. So Headley making the catch in foul territory. Sanchez wants it down just above the belt. Kepler pops it up.
And now the Twins, if they're going to get anything out of this first inning, need something good to happen in the Grossman at bat. And Grossman will make Sessa throw strikes. He's the most patient hitter on the team. Dribbled off the end of the bat. Robbie usually doesn't swing at the first pitch, and he didn't really have a good swing.
I think he was looking fastball right there, and he got a changeup at 87.
Sessa trying to wriggle off the hook here. On and in. 1-1.
You know, in last night's ball game against the Yankee starter Brian Mitchell, Twins had an opportunity to open it up in the early innings and unable to do that, and they held on to beat the Yankees in that 4-2 win.
Strike 2. That was one of the reasons the Twins lost that series in Houston as well. They had opportunities but couldn't get the big hit when they needed it. Dozier walked. Granite walked. Sano hit by a pitch. Now 1-2 to Grossman with 2 down. 2-2 on a check swing.
And laid off that slider.
.26 pitches and only 9 strikes.
The Twins have seen his 3 pitches: a fastball in the mid-90s, a good slider down and in the 80s, and then the changeup. Grossman wanting time. As a pitcher, this is where you want that hitter to swing the bat. You don't want to go 3-2, then all 3 base runners will be taking off with 2 outs. Well, you want to throw a strike here. Hopefully Grossman's ready to hit it hard somewhere.
3-2.
Now the merry-go-round will start.
Dozier tentatively from third base. Granite will get a good start from second. And Sano from first. An awfully big pitch here in Sessa's first inning of work.
Twins need a gapper right here. Something in the outfield.
And Grossman takes another walk. Third walk of the inning.
And Grossman will be credited with a run batted in, his 29th, as Brian Dozier touches home plate and makes it a 1-0 Twins lead. Well, he got ahead in the count. Grossman jumped on that first changeup. And ball 4, tried that changeup again.
And now Rosario with the bases loaded and a fresh count. Rosario with a couple of run producing doubles last night, and he takes strike 1.
I know this was only his 6th game against the Yankees, but he's already 9 for 21 against the Yankees, going back to last year to .429 batting average.
One strike to Rosario. And fouled over the Yankee dugout. Yankees got a lot of doubles and only scored 2 runs, but the Twins got the 2 biggest doubles off the bat of Rosario.
The first double in the 2nd inning, that scored Vargas from first base. That gave the Twins a 1-0 lead. And then in the 8th inning, a little insurance with an RBI double that Rosario drove in.
Oh, 2 to Eddie Rosario. Again, he got ahead of Dozier. 0-2, lost him to a walk. Got ahead of Mauer, retired him on a 3-2 pitch, tapping out to second. And he got ahead of Grossman and lost him to a bases loaded walk. And 96 miles per hour. Rosario strikes out, and the Twins leave them full. They do score 1. When we get to the 2nd inning, Justin Morneau will join us in the booth. 10 years ago, Justin Morneau was the American League MVP. Had a wonderful career with the Twins, 221 home runs, and a big bat in the middle of the lineup. And Justin went on to win a National League batting championship with the Colorado Rockies. And there's the first pitch to Matt Holliday, lifted foul, and Justin now a full-time Minnesota resident and a part-time broadcaster. Welcome to the booth, my friend. Good to see you again.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a new experience for me. It's been fun so far. The last couple of days, learning the ropes and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, sorry you had to work with Tim Laudner too out there.
He was good. He actually helped me out a lot. It was a new experience for me.
Tim is a good man.
What are you doing now? I know you kept yourself in shape, and you're still in shape. If someone were to call, I suspect you'd be ready to go play. But do you think you're done playing?
I'm not sure there's enough time for me, in the rest of the year to be ready. I need a spring training. I need a 2-3 weeks of getting my legs under me and doing all that kind of stuff. And that puts us somewhere in August. And I think you just kind of run out of time at some point. But I haven't eliminated the fact of maybe playing next year. But the odds of that are.
Now to stay ready, Justin, I know you're kind of traveling around a little bit, but you're trying to settle here. Where do you work out? Do you work out on a daily basis, and can you get your swings in?
No. So I stopped once we came up here. I figured it was probably time to just let it rest and maybe see if it helps me feel better, helps the body feel better. I feel good, but a little extra rest never hurt anybody. But
you're 36 years old, right? You still got some good years in you. You feel it, right? You got it in your heart still.
Well, that's what I thought. But you got to convince the teams to do that. So
yeah. Well, look at this guy. Look at this guy here, 44 years old, still trucking.
And he had a great year at 43 and a great year at 42. So that's kind of hard to argue against that one.
A big sexy.
2-2 to Matt Holliday. And a strikeout of Holliday to start the second inning.
Yeah, I think if you asked me 10 years from now, I'd probably tell you that I think I can still hit. So that's one of those things, that I don't think you ever lose that mindset of being a hitter, or being a baseball player. So I don't know, if something came my way, it would be hard to turn it down, or I'd have to give it some serious thought.
Justin, when you look at Bartolo Colon and you faced him, I think you said on the pre and post you were 1 for 14 against him.
Yep.
Now you said a lot of times you knew kind of, okay, this is how he's going to pitch me. I'm ready, and then all of a sudden you hit a ground ball to short.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. It's just that late movement. It's so hard. And it's like Irvin said in the interviews in the pregame. He said, he reinvented himself as a guy that could throw 98 to 100 to a guy who threw mostly fastballs with movement, and he learned how to do that, and that's why he's still pitching at 44. He figured out a way to get it done, a way to adjust to the game, and realize that he can still get guys out by just making the ball move just a little bit at the end, and you'd think you were going to hit it every time, and somehow you'd roll over and be run down the line frustrated.
Roller up the middle with 2 strikes. Gregorius just stuck the bat out and got a base hit.
But the same could be said, Justin, as far as when you first came up with the Twins to toward the end of your career. You had to make the adjustments of how quick your bat was, or what your philosophy was as far as trying to drive the ball.
Yeah, I think the game has changed, evolved. The pitching got better. I think the guys started throwing harder. It became more difficult to take that swing from your heels every time. I think the body and the back and everything else would let you know, but every once in a while it was there. But you kind of need to make that adjustment as it's going. And I think every player, if you want to play in into your mid-30s or late 30s or whatever it is, you find a way to get it done to be more efficient.
I know myself, I came up at 19 and retired when I was 41. So what your body goes through, you have to listen to it. You have to make the adjustments, almost what Bartolo Colon did. He was out of baseball in 2010, went down to the Dominican and tried to stay healthy and got it shot. And like you said, he had some very good years with the Mets prior to this year with the Atlanta Braves. Didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and hopefully he's one of those guys that obviously he still wants to do it. He's out there. He has a love for the game, and I think most guys that play a long time really do have a true love for the game. It's a passion, and when you have that love, you still have the opportunity to go out there and do well. And he's a guy that this team could really need. Can teach some of the other pitchers on the staff how to go about their business, how to prepare every day, how to have fun. One of the things you always hear about him is how good of a teammate he is, how good of a guy he is, and you know, that can really rub off on some of these younger pitchers here.
Yeah, you look at all the different teams. 10 different teams now he has put a major league uniform on.
It's a little bit different now because there's interleague play, but as you saw from his resume there, most recently exclusively in the National League, there were a few interleague starts that he had, of course, against American League teams, but he's not the same pitcher he was when he won the Cy Young back in 05 for the Oakland A's. 2-0 to Clint Frazier. Foul back.
I feel like sometimes, you know, you see a guy on that many teams, it can be seen as a bad thing. For him, I think it's a good thing. That many teams have wanted him there. You know, you see guys that move around a lot, and sometimes they're bad teammates, or sometimes they aren't known as being the best in the clubhouse or whatever it is. And he's played on so many teams because so many, you know, he has such a good reputation, and he can still get guys out.
Now, if you're Irvin Santana and you're Adalberto Mejia, I mean, two guys from the Dominican Republic, you look at this guy and say, you know, he's one of the best that ever came out of our country. There's a good changeup right there, but the movement that he has.
Yeah, he just knows how to make that ball move. It's so efficient. And he's got a little hesitation at the end of his, right with his foot, right before he comes down. And I think that's kind of what throws you off just a little bit.
And that's at 89, 85. We've seen 89. We've seen, you're going to see probably 90 here shortly, but change of speed so well.
2-2 to Frazier.
I feel like he reads hitters really well too. You know, every time I felt like I was looking away on him, he knew when to throw that four-seamer right up under your hands and hit that weak ground ball to first or weak ground ball to second. You know, he pays attention. I feel like he's a guy that probably watches a lot of video or pays attention and tries to read the hitters as the game's going on. And I think that's one of those things you learn as you move along in your career, especially as a pitcher.
And he knows how to keep runners honest. Paying attention to Gregorius, who's a base stealing threat for the Yankees.
Yeah, in his career, there's only been 84 stolen bases. Now you're talking almost 32, over 3,200 innings. 65 have been caught stolen bases. He's done a good job. 22 pickoffs in his career.
It's one of those underrated parts of the game. It's kind of like base running, that guy that can take the extra base when you need it. Guys that can hold runners, it makes such a difference for yourself. You keep that double play in order. You keep that guy at first base. You make him not feel comfortable, like he can't get a good lead over there, and all of a sudden he hits a ground ball to short here, and we turn a double play. You know, it's one of those things.
How about a grounder to
Sounded
third?
like a call almost.
They get the force at second, and Frazier reaches on a fielder's choice.
I want to go with that right there. I mean, Sano made the play to Dozier. Mauer at first base. He came off the bag, and you got to be impressed the way that Joe Mauer has gone from behind the plate to where he's at now at first base.
Yeah, and it's a testament to a lot of things, really, but how good of an athlete he is, how prideful he is as a baseball player, how he wants to do well. And then like that, you see a lot of young first basemen on that play right there try and stay on the bag, think they're going to get the double play, ball goes off the end of the glove, and then we got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. You know, that was one of TK's big things. Your job at first is to catch the ball. You can't help it if they made a bad throw. Your job is to catch the ball, keep that guy at first. Now it's going to take an extra base hit to score him instead of, you know, a weak little broken bat gets over the shortstop's head, and all of a sudden we got a tie game. It's a whole different thing, and you know, his experience over there the last couple of years is, I think it's really starting to show that he's comfortable. He knows those situations, knows when to get the ball, all that kind of stuff.
1 strike to Headley. Well, let's talk about isolate the situation you were just describing. Colon, 3-4 throws over there. Gregorius never did try to steal. So as a result, on the ground ball to Sano, the Twins were able to get the lead runner. Now a hit to the outfield here doesn't tie the game.
It's kind of the opposite of what happened in the first inning.
Right.
In the bottom of the first, you pick the wrong guy, you try and tag him, you miss the tag, now you got second and third, and the inning sets up perfect.
Granite chasing it to the gap. He's got it. And that's the end of the inning, much to the surprise of Clint Frazier.
He didn't know how many outs there were. Give him some stones.
Tonight is Miami Marlins slugger Giancarlo Stanton, who had a post-All-Star surge last night. He hit 2 home runs against the Phillies, that 2-run homer, and then a moonshot for his second. The exit velocities on these two were 115.1 and 109.9 miles an hour. Stanton now has 28 home runs this season. D. Gordon, by the way, drove in the winning run in that game in the 10th in a 6-5 Marlins win. Dick and Bert and Justin.
2-0 to Jorge Polanco. Now, they didn't measure exit velocity in your heyday, but I mean, you would have hit like 110, wouldn't you, on some of your drives, Justin Morneau?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it actually would have been interesting to see some of that stuff back in those days, because you know, you feel like you hit the ball hard, but you don't. There's no way to compare it. Now we have 2 years worth of data or whatever. You know, it would have been nice to see compared to a Hank Aaron or compared to a Mickey. You know, if we had it the whole way along, that would have been a really cool thing. Not that I'm comparing myself to those guys, but to see how hard they hit the ball. You know, they're legends, and how the game stacks up over generations would be really cool to see.
Yeah, Justin, we just showed Stanton. He hit that scoreboard, I guess, for the second time. The first time he knocked some lights out. And we talked about that a little bit last night. You hit that one in Milwaukee about 3/4 of the way up. And I think every time we go there, I look up there.
They have replaced the ball.
I know, but you could almost see where you indented that place, and then that home run you hit in Kansas City too was. I think that's still going, isn't it?
First career was the one in Kansas City, and
that was your first career home run
in Kansas City.
Oh, in Kansas City.
Yeah. And then the Milwaukee, I think, was the 3rd or 4th.
Now, these are your favorite guys to watch?
Well, these are my favorite right-handed guys. I lean towards the left-handed guys, but these are my right-handed guys with Sano and Judge being in the ballpark tonight. We had these guys and played with Arenado. He's a baseball player. I mean, he loves the game of baseball. He's talking baseball. He's watching baseball. It seems like all these young guys, you know, really have a lot of fun. You know, and I like watching them. They can't miss at bats because you never know when they're going to hit a ball like that off the scoreboard. It's going to go 450 feet and come off the bat at 150 miles an hour. I mean, that's special. It's rare, and it's fun to watch.
Okay, you played in Colorado. I know you won a batting title there, but is there a difference between hitting, say, here at Target Field, Colorado? Does the ball jump that much more?
Well, I think if you hit it, it goes. I think there are some, and the data even backs it up, that there are some better home run hitting parks. I feel like Cincinnati, you can stand there and hit it out of any part of that ballpark. But you know, I'm not saying it's not a great home run hitters. Don't get me wrong. But as far as hits goes, the field is so big that the outfielders either decide they're going to play shallow and the ball's over their head or extra bases every time, or they play deep and you get a lot of broken bat hits. You get those balls that kind of dump in and they turn into doubles because there's so much space in the outfield.
That's what I was going to say. You know, you watch the outfielders for the Yankees. You see Frazier and Gardner and Judge, and it doesn't look like there's that much gap between them. And especially, you look at a Rocky game, it looks like there's, you know, you could herd 100 cows through there, and the outfielders wouldn't move.
There's acreage out there. I mean, you look at here, we got a short porch in right, and he's playing shallow, so anything that falls in front of him, you know, he's not going first to third. You kind of lose that stuff. That's the other part of it. The run scoring is also high there because any ball to the outfield, if you're running at any clip coming off, you know, you have a good secondary lead and you're trying to go first to third, it's going to happen almost every time because the outfielders are so far away. You put the pressure on the defense. You try and do that here, like we saw that throw he made last night from right field.
Right.
You know, it's closer. It's closer to the plate. It's closer to the bases, and there's less room.
2 strikes to Castro, and Sessa, who somehow managed to get through the first inning with just 1 run allowed, has come back to walk the leadoff man Polanco here in the second.
Yeah, here's a guy that just got called up already. 41 pitches, only 17 over the plate. 4 walks already, 1 strikeout, that being Rosario to end the first.
And Castro, foul tip. Sanchez hangs on, and it's a strikeout, 1 down. One of your favorite right-handed batters is going to be out for a while. Torn ligament in his left thumb. Different means of getting it, but the same injury Mike Trout has just come back from. They say he's going to be out. The Astros, 6 to 8 weeks, the Astros have the luxury of having such a huge lead that they're just counting on Correa coming back and helping them once they get to the postseason.
Yeah, Trout did it sliding into second base where Correa did it swinging the bat.
That was an awkward looking swing. That's really hard to get a thumb like that on a swing. You have to have to be swinging pretty hard. And I don't know if the pine tar got stuck to his glove and it, you know, came off the wrong way or whatever it was, but it's unfortunate.
You guys allowed to use pine tar?
We're legally allowed to.
Oh. There's that word again.
1 strike to Dozier, and a pitch head high, 1-1. Dozier drew a leadoff walk and was walked home during Robbie Grossman's plate appearance.
It's interesting to me seeing a guy throwing 95 to 98 miles an hour, throwing 3-2 breaking balls, and especially the leadoff hitter. I know Dozier's not your typical leadoff hitter. He's got power, and you know, you have to respect that. But at the same time, the worst thing you can do as a kid coming up and making a start and trying to make an impression is walk the leadoff guy and have a first inning that kind of spirals out of control. Now the pressure's on you. You haven't settled in yet. You're worried about holding the runner, and all of a sudden that inning could have turned into a really big inning, and it was really a good start for the Twins.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes kids come up, and Sessa, you know, he was up a little bit last year. You have to trust your stuff in the strike zone, especially with the fastball. We're going to see tomorrow afternoon Jose Barrios. If he trusts his fastball, he's nasty if he can get it over. And then that hard breaking ball and the changeup. He had a frustrating start his last time because he was all over the place.
If you get ahead, you're going to get the chase on the 0-1 slider in the dirt, or the 0-2 slider in the dirt, or the changeup, or whatever your best off-speed pitch is. If you're 1-0, 2-0 to every guy, they're not going to chase on that borderline off-speed pitch, and you're going to be behind all day, and that's when you get in trouble. I mean, it's for every pitcher. That's how it works. I think that's part of Bartolo is the opposite of that. He's the guy that tries to work ahead and knows that he can expand the zone if he's 0-1, but if he's 1-0, he's got to get a little closer to the plate and put him in offensive count.
That great comparison. I was just going to mention Bartolo Colon does what you were talking about. Gets ahead.
1-2 to Dozier. Grounded to third. Headley, Torres, and Dozier beats the relay. The inning will continue, and Granite will come to the plate. So 2 down. Dozier at first, and Zach Granite will bat.
Well, you want to make sure you get one, but I thought Torres right here, he did a good job of getting that ball over to Cooper as quick as he could. Nice turn at double play, but Ryan does stay out of it by hustling through the bag.
Granite walked on 4 pitches last inning.
It's good to see him get something productive happen in the first at bat. You know, I think as a young hitter, sometimes that stuff can start to build up on you. You know, you look up and you see your average, whatever it is. And everyone knows you see it. You know how you're doing. You know how you've been swinging the bat. But you know, you have a productive plate appearance your first time out there. You maybe settle in. Maybe this is the game where he kind of breaks out and gets the 2 hits or the 3 hits, and he kind of feels like, hey, I belong here. I can do it here. And you hope that happens for him.
How long did it take you to feel comfortable, if you ever did? You know, you're still nervous, but
you know, the first couple games went well, and then it was all downhill after that. I think when I got sent back down that first year I came up, I was in a 6 for 60 or something like that, where you're sitting there going, the league knows more than you do, and they adjust quicker than you do, and you know, I just didn't have that ability, but went down and you know, learned from my experience and got better after that. But you know, he's gotten his feet wet, he's gotten a taste, and he's going to get some consistent playing time with Buxton out. But you know, I'm hopeful that a guy like this, I saw the ovation he got his first at bat from the fans here in Minnesota. That was special. You know, he's a guy that's on everybody's radar, and hoping he's going to do well, and was doing really well in AAA. And if you could hit in AAA, you know, you have a good chance of hitting in the big leagues, and hopefully that's the case for him, because it's a good story.
Well, whatever level you're at, you hit 470 for a month. There must be something there, right?
Yeah, that's a good week, let alone a month. So it's I saw that guy do that. The guy that's on deck, I saw him do that for a little while too. So it's you know, it's fun when you get around guys like that, because that's contagious. You know, they show up every day. They're excited to be there. You kind of feed off that, and you know, hopefully he gets something going here, get something to fall, and then all of a sudden he can start rolling.
I kind of talked about Granite's swing last night. He's not a guy, Justin, that say brings the bat back over to his left shoulder. He's pretty much kind of between the N and the S in Twins, kind of a short, compact swing. More of a line, that kind of more of a line drive type hitter, right?
The liner to right. Judge is able to make the catch. And this time Sessa pitches around the leadoff walk. More with Justin Morneau when we come back. Combination looks at the 575 chances at first base by Joe Mauer this season, all without him committing an error. And as we've said regularly for the last month or so, he should win a Gold Glove award over there because he's been that good making plays that I can't imagine any other first baseman making. Catching that foul pop last night, another example why. Garrett Cooper, the Yankee first baseman, will lead things off, taking strike one. Now, Justin, that's a transition you made before you got to the big leagues, from behind the plate to first base. And by the time you got up here, you were an accomplished first baseman. Well, what's the toughest thing about making that transition?
I wouldn't say just one thing, but mentally being involved and staying involved in every pitch. I think, especially for Joe, a guy who really thought the game, who really paid attention to the hitters, and you know, it's his third at bat. Okay, how did we get him out the second at bat? How did he beat us the first at bat? How did we pitch him last week, last month, whatever it was? And you kind of are involved mentally on every pitch as a catcher. You know, Castro's thinking, okay, what are we going to do here? Obviously, a little different with Bartolo throwing a lot of fastballs, but you know, you're sitting there and you're trying to figure that out. Well, you go over to first and you're trying not to take your at bats into the field. You're trying to stay focused. You still pay attention to how they're pitching, because you obviously, you know, fastball away, there's a better chance a right-handed hitter's going to hit it your way. You know, you kind of look in to see what the signals are. So you kind of want to be involved and you want to stay involved mentally. But that was the hardest thing for me, was not being there for every pitch and thinking through every pitch of how we're going to pitch this guy, how we pitch him last time. I'm going, okay, I got to be able to move to a ball to my right.
The right field corner and a foul ball. I remember asking Joe about that as he was transitioning. We're going to look at some highlights of Justin Morneau at first base. And Joe said one of the toughest adjustments he had to make was feeling comfortable playing off the bag, the right distance, giving yourself enough time to get back to the bag in the event of a ground ball. Here's a dribbler, and Colon will do it himself.
Like a cat. A big, sexy cat.
That's how you stay around a long time. You field your position.
You know what? They list him at 5'11", about 280 pounds, but watch him jump off the mound right here. Now Cooper gets jammed. And Colon gets over there. He said, I'm not running all the way to first. I'm going to stop and tag you out. Why run all that way when I can cut across but tag Cooper himself?
See, that play right there is one of the most difficult plays as a first baseman. And that's one that's gone over every day in spring training. It's the I got it, you take it drill, call it. And
PFP, pitcher's fielding practice.
And the first baseman's job there is to go after the ball, and the pitcher, like he just did perfectly, you go after the ball, the pitcher picks it up, he runs to first and tags the guy out. So if he runs past that ball, and if it makes its way to Joe, the first baseman's covering the bag.
Flare to right field and a base hit for Ronald Torres. The Yankees have their second hit against Colon.
I would think too, what you're talking about, being a former catcher, now all of a sudden you're a first baseman, is the relay throws too, the cutoffs. Where do you go all the time, and you go in the right spot?
Yeah, that's one of those things you're thinking ahead of time, you know, especially when you first get over there. You're going through your mind, okay, ball's hitting the right center field gap. Where am I going? Okay, I'm going to, you know, at first there's always somewhere to go, especially once the runner's gone. Once that guy, if it's a double, you have somewhere you can be other than first base. You're either backing up that throw coming in from the left fielder, or you're in a position where somebody makes a bad throw, you can help it out, and if there's going to be at the plate, you line up, you look, you're kind of in control. The score depends on what you're going to do with the ball, how the time of the game. You know, if you're up by 5 runs and the guy runs into an out, you take it every time. But if it's a tie game, you're going, okay, I got to let this thing go probably. You know, there's different things that play into your mind as it's going on, and you need to do that ahead of time. You need to think the game before it happens, so you're not surprised when it happens.
1-0 to Brett Gardner. Hit a fly ball to Eddie Rosario in left field.
Now, I know you signed with the Twins as a catcher, I believe.
Yep.
But then within the first year and a half, they converted you a little bit to the outfield. I saw that, and then
Joe loves to tell that story. I was circling the wagons in right field there. We were playing instructional league at a game. We were playing, I think it was the Pirates or somebody, and ball goes up, and he said I went 6 different directions and still missed the ball. And that's when they said, we'll just leave you at first.
Well, were you moved out from behind the plate because of Joe Mauer?
No, I think, I don't know exactly the reason, but whether it was to move up quicker through the system, because a catcher, you have to be ready defensively to catch in the big leagues. You can't come up. You have to hit a ton to be able to be a bad defensive catcher. And I think that was one of those things that the development could be quicker. The bat, I think, was ahead of the defense when I was younger, so it was an easier way to kind of move up the ladder a little quicker, and it helped me get to the big leagues faster.
And you accepted it. I mean, you accepted the role, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys, we talked about Tom Kelly, but prior to TK helping you out, there are other coaches that helped you out.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the thousands of fungos you take from the coaches in the minor leagues. Al Newman was big for me.
Okay.
A guy that really paid attention to detail. He was my manager in rookie ball. He was great, and then he was in the big leagues when I got up here, so that actually helped with my comfort level too. He was hitting me ground balls, and Scotty Elger hit me 1,000,000 ground balls in the Metrodome. And there's guys all along the way that kind of give you little bits and pieces. But I at first I was hesitant to go over there. I loved catching. I caught from the time I was 6 years old. It was all I ever wanted to do.
Popped up center field. Easy play for Granite. Catch made out number 2. Well, Justin, you, for better or worse, I guess you've been able to watch Twins baseball, and one of the big reasons this team's been above 500 almost all year long is their defense.
Yeah, and I think you go back to the playoff teams that we've had here. It was top 5, top 6 in pitching, and top 5 or top 6 in defense. Whatever numbers you want to take to look at it, but we had good defensive teams, and when you have good defensive teams, it gives your pitching staff a little more confidence to throw the ball over the plate. They look at it and they go, okay, if I get a ground ball right here, we should be able to turn 2. And they look at it and go, okay, I'm going to throw a strike right here, and we turn 2, and it's over. Obviously not with 2 outs, but it's one of those things where you got guys in the outfield. We got athletes out there. I mean, you got some of the best athletes in the game playing the outfield now, and Buxton's as good as it comes out there, running balls down. So when you have guys like that, it just gives your pitchers that little extra boost of confidence in those situations where they need to throw a strike, that you're going to get the outs that are supposed to be made.
1 strike to Sanchez, and now a foul ball, strike 2.
Yeah, when you talk about pitching and defense, they go hand in hand. I mean, you crisscross that. You crisscross those, you're going to have a successful season.
Yeah, you look at the times where there's errors are made. It's usually after 2 walks or long inning or whatever it is. The game's dragging on, and the guys are out there chewing their fingernails and everything else, going, all right, am I going to get a ball? And then all of a sudden you get a rocket hit at you, and that's the one you mess up, because you haven't seen any action in a long time.
But it helps you too when your pitcher's throwing strikes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And your pitcher's got to be aggressive in the strike zone, so you're not playing first base or wherever on your heels. You're ready because he's throwing that ball over the plate.
Yeah, he's first pitch strikes. Those hitters are aware of that, and all of a sudden they're being aggressive, and the game, the pace, and everything else is there.
And the pitcher's working at a good pace too.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're ready to make a play for him because he's working quick. You feel good about what he's doing out there, and the guys are out there and ready to go.
Castro trying to frame.
Cologne wanted this pitch right here. Take a look. That ball coming back over just a bit outside.
So Castro kind of snapped that glove down, trying to get it back into the strike zone. 2-2 to Sanchez.
Sanchez making the all-star team for the Yankees. A good changeup right there. Strikeout number 3 for Bartolo Colon.
3 shutout innings on 46 pitches. You're watching Twins baseball, presented by State Farm. Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. 1-0 Twins. Luis Cessa's throwing a no-hitter.
Hey, 4 walks in that bat.
And a hit batter. Bauer will lead things off, then Sano and Kepler. Do I remember right? When you were both bachelors, didn't you and Joe share a residence?
We were roommates.
At home.
Yeah.
Not on the road, but at home you had a place here. And, well,
Yeah, where are you going with it?
no, but when the guy to your right played, you had roommates on the road.
Yeah, we did.
Right, but so just want to clarify that. But then you house other, like Dustin Moore, didn't he stay with you for a while, or who am I thinking of?
Josh Raby stayed with us.
Josh Raby, okay.
Slept on the couch, yep.
Slept on the couch. You guys are good hosts.
I don't think Joe would have liked me as a roommate on the road. I'm a little messier than he is.
Bauer flies out to left field, and now Miguel Sano will hit. Hit in the left hand by a pitch in the first inning to fill the bases.
Well, let me ask you, in the minor leagues now, do they have roommates in the minor leagues? I'm sure they do. Minor leaguers don't have their own room.
I believe they still do, yeah. I don't know what AAA or if they're on the 40-man roster or whatever, how that stuff works in the minor leagues, but for sure in the lower levels, yeah.
Sano lifts it.
I remember
Foul and out of play.
we had 4 guys in a room that when I first signed in Sarasota, Florida. Jim Hughes, a guy named Ken Knight, that was a first baseman from Texas, and Lee Pallett, a left-handed pitcher. And our room wasn't any big as this right here. We had 2 single beds and a double bed, and Jim Hughes and I got the single bed. And Ken Knight and Lee Pallett slept together. Boy, did we have fun with them.
They call that living the dream, don't they?
Yeah. That wasn't a dream, but that was fun.
Maybe in another forum we'll get more into detail, but not tonight. 1-1, and Sano drives it hard toward the bullpen. It's back and gone. A home run. Number 22 for number 22.
Some revenge right there.
Hit by a pitch in the first, and a low launch angle bullet to the bullpen in the third inning.
Justin, I know you were strong. You hit a lot of home runs like this, but boy, I tell you what, watch him drop the barrel of the bat on this, and it's a line drive home run.
Yeah, I was going to say before that at bat, if he swings here, he's going to be swinging hard, because you always remember when you get hit and you want to return that favor, and he got hit hard that first at bat, and he got it back.
Wow. And now Max Kepler, first hit for the Twins.
So there goes his no-hitter.
There goes his no-hitter. The shutout was lost in the first inning when he walked 4 guys and hit a guy. 3 guys and hit a batter. Kepler checks his swing and takes a strike, 1-1. Well, when you guys were best of friends and you're still best of friends, it says something of the quality of the friendship that ball driven to right, and this is hit pretty well. Judge going back, he won't get it. He'll play the bounce. Got a great arm. His throw to second, not in time, and Kepler has a double.
Well, Judge played that carom perfectly. He went back. He knew he could not get it, and then spun and made a throw. But Kepler and his speed sliding safely into second, his 21st double of the year.
I like watching him, man. I feel like he's got a chance to become a good everyday major league player. I think, once he figures out a consistent approach against lefties, he'll do it. But I think it's one of those things you just learn. Once you get to see those guys, especially the bullpen guys are tough. You know, you're up there and you're facing them, 2-3 times a season, maybe. Out of your division, you might see them once.
You handled lefties so well, and the fact Ron Gardenhire had put you and Joe in the middle of the lineup and leave you there against lefties because you both handled left-handers so well.
Well, I think one of the huge benefits that I had is that Joe always saw a lot of pitches, and they'd bring in that lefty and
Tap to the right side, gobbled up by Cooper, and that's out number 2.
Very rarely would he go up there and roll over on a first pitch slider, and then all of a sudden I have no information. I'm going up there, and now I got to take, and he goes fastball and then throws 2 sliders in the dirt. Very rarely, if ever, did I ever see that, especially off a reliever. But he was that guy that helped me be successful and helped the rest of the lineup be successful, because he was 6-7 pitches every at bat, and it just made that pitcher work. And then he wouldn't chase, he wouldn't go out of the zone, and he'd walk. And I had so many at bats before they started to shift a lot with him standing on first base, a huge hole on the right side if I want to try and pull the ball, or you got the whole field and you got a chance, like a catcher that could run, one of those rare guys, and he would score on balls in the gap. So
tap to the right side, nice stop by Cooper, and he hits the pitcher on the run. Twins get one back on a Sano home run. Hey, it's great to see you. First of all, nice job up here, and welcome to the broadcast booth, Justin Morneau. We'll do this again sometime.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice job, Justin.
2-0. Twins have the lead as we go to the 4th.
Fourth inning, and we have some very special guests at Target Field. Minnesota United has partnered with Special Olympics Minnesota and Edina High School's unified soccer teams. They are here tonight along with a unified soccer team from Houston, and the players are having a bonding activity tonight at the Twins game before a big match tomorrow night. The unified teams are going to be playing at TCF Bank Stadium tomorrow after the Minnesota United and Houston Dynamo game. And the goal of this partnership is to ease the stigma of disability. These guys and gals are athletes, they're inspiring, and Dick and Bert, they're going to be on the field, the big field, TCF Bank Stadium, tomorrow night to play a soccer game.
Oh, that's tremendous.
That is cool.
Aaron Judge with ball 1 and ball 2 from Bartolo Colon. Well, starting his 4th inning of work, couple of hits, harmless hits. He struck out Judge looking in the 1st inning. So far, so good. No one knew what to expect. Colon with several good years with the New York Mets, but an awful first half with the Atlanta Braves. In his 3 years with the Mets, he won 44 ball games, had an ERA of under 4, and the Braves signed him to a big contract. He won 2 ball games and had an ERA of over 8. 3-2. Judge, then Holiday and Gregorius. 51 pitches, 30 strikes. No walks. Right off the end of the bat.
Took something off that right there. Judge a little out front, fouled it back. Hey, you look at Colon, 235 career wins, only 170 losses. Very good ERA. career coming into this ball game, 4.02. 36 complete games, 13 career shutouts.
Full count to Judge. Hit hard and off the end of the glove of Polanco. It will be a leadoff hit for Aaron Judge, who takes a big turn but holds up there. Holiday will hit with a man aboard. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go.
That ball right there, Polanco, I think he tried to come up and make the throw too quickly. He didn't really get that ball in his glove. Now with the Braves, in his starts, 13 of them, Cologne did have 6 double plays turned behind him.
The pitch range, primary pitch range, seems to be 85 to 89. And when Cologne is good, and he was with the Mets, wasn't with the Braves, impeccable control, throwing the ball exactly where he wants to throw it. I would think in that sense he'd be an ideal man for Castro to catch. Now to right field. And Kepler with a diving catch in right. A tougher play than the one he made last night. A great catch for out number 1.
Yeah, last night off the bat of Sterling Castro, Kepler came in and made a nice diving catch. Here the ball kind of flared in, and Kepler all out, stretched, did a Superman imitation again. Good concentration, open glove.
The one last night he came straight in. Here he had to cut up diagonally and take the right angle. Really good play for Kepler. And now Gregorius. Gregorius rolled a single up the middle, hit it right off the end of the bat for the first Yankee hit. Well, there's 85. Twins made a series of really good defensive plays in their win last night.
Oh, they really did. Again, to win close ball games like the Twins have done, they need good defense, and we saw some of that. Joe Mauer, good over-the-shoulder catch. And there's Kepler's catch you were talking about, Dick. And right there, very nice play. Andrianza does a great job of that. Was with a runner in scoring position, knocked that ball down.
Strike 2, Gregorius, and another foul. 85. You know, certainly with Buxton, less so with Granite, but this is the most seamless outfield defensively I've ever seen the Twins put out there. I mean, every once in a while a ball get to the gap or hit over someone's head. There's nothing they can do about that. But in terms of lateral coverage and getting to balls in front of them, this is the best defensive outfield the Twins I think have ever had.
You know, I just saw Granite, who was playing a little bit toward right center, now moving a little bit toward left center. He has as all the outfielders
trying to pull the ball. Does he spray the ball more to the opposite field? Things like that. 2 strikes to Gregorius. Cologne trying to pitch around Judge's leadoff single. Off of Cologne. Now to Sano, who has no play. And Cologne might have had a double play grounder back to him, but he didn't field it cleanly, and by the time the ball trickled to Sano, there was no play.
Yeah, Gregorius, good speed out of the batter's box. This ball maybe hit the heel of Cologne's glove. You see the follow through, the ball hit right back to him. Yeah, came up and either hit off his glove or his arm and deflected over to Sano. It'll be an infield base hit for Gregorius, picking up his 2nd hit.
Frazier will hit a sharp ground ball to Sano. Made a nice play on the backhand side to turn it into an out. First time the Yankees have had a runner at second base. to the skeptics who wondered about Colon and his ability to get big league hitters out. It's not as if the Twins didn't try other options. Nick Turley, Adam Wilk, Nick Tepish.
Colon is the 11th different starter the Twins have used so far this year, and the 28th different pitcher.
Oh, now that's quick work there. Guy's got a Cologne Twins jersey already. 1-1 to Frazier. That's a pop up toward the seats and out of play.
Yeah, going back to the outfielders where they're shaded, I think we're trying to get a picture of Jeff Pickler. Pickler, I think, has done a great job of positioning the outfielders off of what they watch. There he is right there. You can see always looking outside and toward the outfield. Basically working with Granite out in center field.
1-2 to Frazier. Dozier with a nice pickup. And Polanco with a low throw. And Mauer into a goalie stance to block that low throw.
Well, you know, if we had Justin here again, we're talking about Joe and his defense. You know, he came off the bag earlier on a possible double play ball. Right here, a little short hop. And Polanco was playing so deep that you get the out. You can see Polanco took him a while to step on second base. But Joe does a great job of blocking that ball. That ball gets by him. The runner probably scores from third base. Aaron Judge.
So first and third, 2 down, and Headley, who had a fly ball to Granite his first time up, comes to the plate. Outside, ball 1. Yeah, M&M boys are here. Just outside 2-0. Talking about Justin and Joe and how they lived together in their early Twins years here, and that's a pretty good friendship. When in 2006 one guy wins the American League MVP, and 3 years later the other guy wins the league MVP. 2-0 to Headley.
Castro again outside,
and Dozier can't flag that one down. Judge will score. Frazier to third base. And the Yankees are on the board with 3 singles here in the 4th.
Well, Colon fell behind 2-0. They tried to go down and away again. This time he left the ball up, and Headley hitting it sharply, picking up an RBI, his 37th of the year. So fell behind 2-0. You see where they wanted that ball up in the zone to allow Headley to hit it sharply up the middle.
Couple of infield hits and now one to the outfield. The tying run at third, 2 down. And Gary Cooper, the batter. Cooper got jammed and dribbled one up the right field side. Malone scooped it up, tagged him out near first base. First pitch strike at 88. Cooper, the 19th rookie that the Yankees have used on the year. It's a far cry from the Yankee teams the Twins kept running into in the playoffs. You know, they're not running out the likes of Messina and Clemens and Pettit as starting pitchers. 1-1 to Garrett Cooper. 2-1.
Well, 70 pitches now for Colon. The first inning, outstanding. 9, 18, 19, 24 so far here in the 4th.
missing. Now it's 3-1. Cooper with 3 hits in the ball game last night. Tapper left side. Polanco fires across. Bauer into a stretch to get it, and the inning ends. 3 singles and a Yankee run, but Bartolo Colon comes off the mound with the lead. Fox Sports North is presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Well, Bartolo Colon was the story before he threw his first pitch, and 4 innings later, he's still the story. A 2-1 lead. Jorge Polanco will lead off the Twins' 4th, and he takes strike 1.
Twins see if they can get that run back and maybe add a couple here in the bottom of the 4th.
Polanco drew a leadoff walk. It at the time was the 4th walk issued by Sessa and a hit batter in the first 8 plate appearances. Weak little 2 hopper fielded by Cooper, 1 away. If it seems to you that this Twin season has been one of a stable season through 92 ball games, here's why. If you broke it down into 10 game segments, look at how even keeled this Twins team and season have been. We use the word resiliency. Well, look at this. Some 6 and 4s, a couple of 5 and 5s, and a couple of 4s and 6s. I mean, that's the essence of a team that's not fallen into any deep, dark losing streaks like last year. They haven't put together any good winning streaks, but that's a team that's marginally above 500, and this year that might be enough.
It's that teeter-totter effect, you know, going back and forth, and hopefully, you know, come September when they're playing still as they're playing now, they're going to be in the race.
This one hooked to the corner, and Castro is in there, and Judge made that a close play. A 1-out double for Jason Castro, getting Brian Dozier to the plate.
That Castro doubled in last night's ball game. His only hit that came in the 4th inning. His 15th double of the year. So Twins have 3 hits, a home run, and now a couple doubles. Breaking ball stayed up. Castro, good swing. Sliding feet first. Gregorius. By the time he could tag him, Castro safe at second.
And now Dozier walked and scored in the first and bounced into a fielder's choice in the second. Inside, ball one. Just to follow up the balance, if you will, the even natured season this has been, without any violent winning streaks or losing streaks. The longest winning streak the Twins have had, 4 games. They've done that 3 times. The longest losing streak they've had is 4 games. They've done that 3 times. 2-0 to Dozier. And a belt high strike, 2-1. Sessa survived terrible control issues in the first inning, giving up just 1 run. Now the Twins starting to hit him around a little bit. 3-1, granted on deck.
Well, Sessa's faced a lot of batters. You figure Brian Dozier in his 3rd at bat as a leadoff hitter here in the 4th inning. Well, some action in the bullpen for the Yankees.
Jason Shreve, left-hander, warming up. 3-1 to Brian Dozier. Right center field. Judge going back. This ball's up and gone. A home run.
Oh, hit off the top. It's in play.
And Dozier to third base. He'll be held. Castro scores. And Paul Molitor wants, I think, an umpire review here. I thought I saw the ball go into the flowers and come back.
I think it hit right on top of that target sign again. Take a look right here. See right there,
right
that
on.
little edge that sticks out.
It's the 3rd time this year that the ball has hit the top of that scoreboard area. So a triple for Dozier.
And the biggest thing, it's an RBI triple, his 2nd triple of the year, driving in his 47th run. So the Twins able to get back that run that Colon gave up in the top of the inning. So taking that pitch the other way, I looked like a fly ball to right field. This ball just kept carrying.
Hit the top and then hit the back wall. Infield in now for Granite. Strike 1. Still looking for his first big league run batted in. He had some opportunities last night to do it and couldn't get her done. 1 strike. So far tonight, a walk and a fly ball hit to right field. Nice block by Sanchez. It kind of angled his right shoulder into that ball. Job done, keeping Dozier at 3rd.
Again, a home run, couple doubles, now a triple. All the Twins need here is a single. That's what Granite would like to get right here.
Right to the second baseman, Torres. Dozier frozen at 3rd, 2 down. Before Mauer's at bat, let's go to Marnie Gelner.
Guys, it is time for tonight's timeless moment presented by Coors Banquet. On this date in 1962, for the first time in Major League history, teammates hit grand slams in the same inning. It was at Metropolitan Stadium. Bob Allison and Harmon Killebrew, both of them went deep with the bases full in the first inning. It was a remarkable feat, couple of round trippers. They were part of an 11-run inning. That's a team record in a 14-3 rout of the Indians. This date in 1962, guys.
Against the Indians, I would have guessed against the Kansas City Athletics. So much of the Twins' notable historic offensive milestones in that era came against the Athletics.
Only wishing I pitched started that game for the Twins. Have a nice little 11-0 lead.
Pitching change for the Yankees. caught up thanks to Toyota.
Well, the Twins took an early 1-0 lead thanks to the inconsistency of the strike zone for their starter. Made it a 2-0 lead. Sano with his 22nd home run, and coming in the third inning. And we just saw Brian Dozier hit a high triple off of that wall in right field. That scored Castro. And Bartolo Colon now 4 innings, giving up 1 run, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Well, the Twins are into the Yankee bullpen. Mauer standing in with Dozier at third and 2 down. There's strike 1. Shreve almost points his back to the hitter as he gets into the set position.
Yeah, Shreve making his 29th relief appearance. 24 2/3 innings, only 19 hits allowed. He's given up only 2 home runs.
High number of walks.
14 walks, 2 intentional, 29 strikeouts.
Mauer lashes it foul. Nice catch by the ball boy. Two strikes to Mauer. Harper right side. Backhanded by Torres, and Mauer retired. Shreve gets his man, and Bartolo Colon will go back to the mound with another 2-run lead. Fans of the game watching Bartolo Colon's Twins debut. So far so good. A 3-1 lead as we go to the 5th inning. Down and away ball 1 to Ronald Torres. He'll be followed by Brett Gardner and Gary Sanchez. Torres singled his first time up. And a tapper foul. Yankees starting a 3-city, or actually in the middle of a 3-city 11-game road trip. There are a lot of rumors out there that help is on the way for Joe Girardi. He's figured to be active before the trade deadline at the end of the month. 1 and 2.
Yeah, 3.5 games behind the Boston Red Sox coming into this ball game. In 3rd place, Tampa Bay Rays playing good baseball. They're in 2nd.
Fouled away. A couple of other games of note for Twins fans. The Indians will be playing the Giants later tonight. And Detroit leading Kansas City 6-3 in the 5th inning. Tigers trading J.D. Martinez to the Diamondbacks earlier today. Twins won't have to face him in a Tiger uniform. They will have to face him in a D-backs uniform. Up the middle and a base hit. Torres with his 2nd hit against Cologne. And that's the big story in baseball so far. J.D. Martinez traded to the Diamondbacks. And the Tigers get some prospects. Double-A prospect, a Class A prospect, and a rookie ball prospect.
As we come down to the trading deadline, we're going to see some names, I think, that you're going to go, wow. But we've already seen Quintana going to the Cubs from the White Sox.
And rumblings that the White Sox are ready to move Todd Frazier, Tommy Kahnle, and David Robertson, perhaps to the Yankees. The Red Sox also interested. Brett Gardner, the batter, a fly to left and a fly to center. Yankees have had at least one base runner via a hit in every inning but the 1st inning. Down and away, ball 1.
Well, Sano playing almost on the grass. Gardner very good at bunting. So that's always in the back of your mind. You've seen Sano make some great plays on bunts hit down toward him.
.85 right down the middle, and Gardner took it. This will be the 80th pitch for Cologne. He's thrown 50 strikes, a strike percentage now of 63.
Looks like Ryan Presley just getting loose in the Twins bullpen. I believe that's Ryan. Yeah, Cologne last worked on June 28th for the Braves in San Diego. He threw 4 innings, threw 80 pitches.
There's Presley getting loose. Twins used Duffy, Rogers, and Kinsler in the win last night. 1-1 to Gardner. That's to the left field corner. And a fair ball, just dropping 3 feet within fair territory and then bouncing up off the limestone for a ground rule double. And Torres will go to 3rd base, and the Yankees have the tying run at 2nd with no one out.
Well, fastball away, and Gardner just took it that way, right down that left field corner. Just a matter, is this going to stay fair or foul? It stayed fair. Hit the limestone and the wall and bounced into the stands for a ground rule double. For Gardner, his 16th double of the year.
2nd time through the order, and now the 3rd. The Yankees are having some better success against Cologne. Gary Sanchez is 0 for 2. 2-run lead, so the Twins have the infield back here. Sanchez with a bouncer to 3rd and a strikeout. And it was by Sanchez before he swung. Drilled fair into the corner. It'll tie the game. Torres and Gardner both score, and now Sanchez into 2nd with a 2-run double.
I think we've seen the last couple innings the Cologne not fooling the Yankees anymore, and Paul Molitor is going to come out.
6 hits in the last 9 plate appearances.
And that ball wasn't a bad pitch. You can see Sanchez just went down and hit it sharply right down into the corner.
If given another start, it'll come next Monday against the Dodgers, where he'll also get a chance to swing the bat. Colon comes out in the 5th. Were really good for Bartolo Colon, and the 4th and 5th not so good.
Yeah, Bartolo Colon, of course, he, 44 years old. He started off strong and then just left some pitches hittable for the Yankees. Yankees took advantage of it. No walks for Colon, 3 strikeouts through 82 pitches, 53 for strikes.
Fox Sports North is proud to have 5 of PCA Minnesota's Double Gold Coach Award winners to our Twin Suite tonight. The Double Gold Coach Award is given to youth and high school sports coaches who embody the ideals of striving to win while also teaching life lessons through sports. To learn more about Positive Coaching Alliance MN, visit minnesota.positivecoach.org. Ryan Presley and Aaron Judge in the batter's box. Here we go with the go-ahead run at second and no one out.
Yeah, Ryan's been pitching better as of late. He pitched a couple times in Houston, total 2 shutout innings. Good fastball down and away there at 96.
Which must seem like 102 compared to what they've been seeing. Judge started the resurgence, if you will, against Colon, an infield hit in the 4th inning to lead off the 4th inning. He later scored the first Yankee run. Colon gave up 3 singles in the 4th, and now 3 straight hits here in the 5th.
Presley got sent down to AAA back in the middle of June, recalled on July 1st. The team was at Kansas City.
Blocked by Castro, and it's 2-1. Now, Presley has done better in his last 4 outings, 5 innings, no runs, 3 hits, no walks.
Well, I think the big thing and the key for Ryan is that left shoulder. He has a tendency to fly open, and that does not allow the arm to catch up to the rest of his body. And I think we see the inconsistency of the breaking ball especially. But the control of the fastball, he should be able to do what he did on strike 1.
Ball up the middle, a base hit. Target was outside. Here's Granite's throw, and it's offline, but the run scores. You can see right there the target was across the plate from where the pitch was delivered.
You know what? The hardest pitch to hit, I'm going to bring up the Ted Williams chart. Fastball down and away. And that's exactly the way that Ryan started against Judge with a good fastball down and away for strike 1. And then he fell behind and then came into the fastball that was very hittable. Take a look at the first pitch right here. This is a pitcher's pitch. That's where you want to be. Good fastball down and away. Well, not the outing that Colon I know wanted.
Fouled off of Holiday in the box. Well, it started out so good. 3 innings. He faced 11 batters, had a couple of scratch singles left aboard. 0-2 to Holiday. Cologne talking to Mejia. Irvin Santana instrumental in talking Cologne into signing with the Twins. And a breaking ball in a good spot.
Good hard breaking ball right there. Presley picks up a strikeout.
MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Finally an out, and now Gregorius.
Yeah, Gregorius a couple hits, a single in the second inning, then an infield base hit in the fourth. That's a ball that hit off of Cologne.
Deep to right field. And gone. A home run for Gregorius, jumping on the first pitch. And the Yankees open up a 3-run lead.
Now the Dutchman getting his 12th home run of the year in his third hit. Now with 42 runs batted in.
For Presley, the 7th home run allowed in 29 1/3 innings.
Well, fastball. Bell tied, middle in. Not a lot of no movement, just at 95. And Gregorius deposits into the stands.
So it's a 5-run inning for the Yankees. Still only 1 out, and Frazier, the batter, taking ball 1. Just when it looked like Ryan Presley was starting to get some traction to his season. Gives up an RBI single and a 2-run home run. 1-0 to Clint Frazier. Check swing. It is 1-1. Frazier's reached on a couple of fielders' choice. Smash. Dozier made a nice pickup. Force at second. Frazier reached in the 4th inning. Breaking ball snaps over, and it's 1-2. Back to Presley. To Mauer. 2 down. That'll bring up Chase Headley.
A better fastball right there, better location.
Beautiful night here. Had some more rain in the Twin Cities today, but it's cleared up. Stopped raining in the afternoon and cleared up about 5 o'clock, 5:30. Brown to Polanco. And Headley is retired. The inning ends. Good inning for the Yankees. They get 5 hits and 5 runs.
3 lead. We are in the Minnesota Lottery winner circle here at Target Field. We have $100 worth of these scratch-off tickets for Larry and Linda Becker from Fairmont, Minnesota, here with 24 family members to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. They've been season ticket holders with the Twins since 1991, correct? Longtime, lifetime Twins fan.
That's correct, and we've enjoyed it for all these years. We claim Fairmont as our address, but we actually live close to Northrop, Minnesota. That's our hometown.
Okay. So. And Linda, where was your first date?
Our first date was at a Twins game at the old Met Stadium.
First date at a Twins game. How about that, Dick and Bert? 50th
awesome.
Anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Great find, Marty, right there. And 1991 was a pretty good year to be a season ticket holder, wasn't it?
Yeah.
First year.
Sano with a foul back. Fairmont down in the southwest part of the state, just south of Interstate 90. Northrop just north of Interstate 90 and just south of Truman, Minnesota.
Hey, you know, coming to the ballpark today, I ran into Mark Weber. Works for the Twins. He also handles down in Fort Myers the minor league complex and runs that down there. He does a great job. But he's up here visiting his dad, Phil Weber, in Chisholm, Minnesota. And he's battling cancer, and we give him our best.
Sano hooks one into the corner. He's got a home run and a double. Twins find themselves behind by 3 runs and a good start to the 5th inning. We should also wish Torrey Hunter a happy birthday.
41. He keeps saying he's younger, but is it 42? You're saying
you didn't hear that. You didn't hear that from me.
Okay.
Because Torrey made a point of saying he doesn't want to admit to his age. So I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm proud to admit I'm 51.
I'm Route 66, buddy.
Here's Kepler with Sano at second. Twins need to get a run back here, down by 3. And Kepler takes outside, ball 1.
Well, yeah, I made the mistake on Twitter 2 days ago because I thought his birthday was the 16th. So I had to give him a double happy birthday. He said he was 32. If he's 32, he'd still be playing. And he still looks like he could play. So happy birthday, Torrey. And Phil Weber gets, you know, our wishes go to you.
Absolutely.
Best wishes go to you.
Now 2-0 to Max Kepler. Kepler fouled out with the bases loaded. The Twins had a chance to bust the game up early and get Luis Sessa out of the game early, but Sessa issued 3 walks and hit a batter to give the Twins a run in the first, and then got the game into the 4th inning for the Yankees. 2-0 to Kepler, who also doubled in the 3rd. Now a single to right here in the 5th, and the Twins right away will get the tying run to the plate. Judge with a long throw and showing off his arm once again. And last night's ball game, he threw out Dozier at the plate.
Yeah, Shreve leaving some pitches up right here in his 3rd year season with the Yankees. Up and down the last couple years. As he was sent down earlier this year, recalled. A couple stints with him. He originally came up with the Atlanta Braves back in 2014.
Adam Warren getting loose. Yankee bullpen might be augmented before they leave town here tomorrow. But right now it's Warren, next man lined up to pitch to the Twins tonight. Grossman out in front, strike 1. Grossman drew a walk with the bases loaded to get a run batted in the 1st inning. And he hit a ground ball to Cooper at first.
Yeah, Robbie now hitting as a right-handed hitter. We're hitting 271. His 6 home runs coming from the left side of the plate.
1-1. Showed you Shreve's numbers. Walks are a little too high. This would figure to be an interesting matchup, maybe a favorable one for the Twins. Grossman so patient at the plate. Great plate discipline.
Yeah, 49 walks, only 51 strikeouts. So very, close right there. 249 at bats.
2-1. with 6 hits. The Yankees racked up 10 hits against Cologne and then Presley.
6 hits for the Twins, 5 of them extra base hits.
Kind of remarkable about last night's game. The Yankees got 6 doubles and only 2 runs.
Yeah.
Now 3-1 to Grossman with Rosario on deck. All 6 of Grossman's home runs have been from the other side of the plate. 3-2. Kapler dives back. Grossman still among the league leaders in on-base percentage. He's already got a first-inning walk. He's 6th in the league in on-base percentage, behind Judge, Altuve, Correa, Gene Segura of Seattle, and Dustin Pedroia. Strike 3.
High fastball right there. Got Barry saying it was about letter high. Grossman thought it was ball 4.
Right there. Pitch.
Tree picking up his first strikeout.
Twins, even last night, got the minimum out of the maximum, won the ball game 4-2, but so many opportunities here to add to their run total, and now first and third, 1 out. Rosario is 0 for 2. Rosario with a couple of big doubles last night. Swing and a foul. Rosario hitting .284 against lefties. One of his RBI doubles against a lefty last night. And quickly it goes to 0-2.
I have seen Shreve pitch before over the last couple of years, but my goodness, you look at him and then you think of Derek Holland with the Chicago White Sox. They could be brothers.
Yeah.
Both of them left-handers.
Two strikes to Rosario. And the breaking ball gets him on 3 pitches, 2 down. And that'll bring up Polanco. Join us Thursday for the 1987 summer celebration at Target Field. You can enjoy an evening on the field with members of the '87 Twins. Greg Gagne has told the Twins today that he'll be coming. First didn't think he'd be able to come, but he'll be here. Evening will feature interactive games, a silent auction, program, dinner, and more. To learn more and get your tickets today, visit twinsbaseball.com/summer celebration.
Should be a lot of fun.
Here is Polanco. Strike 1. Paul Molitor talking today how they really need to get Polanco's bat going. He drew a walk his first time up, bounced to first in the 4th. And now this budding rally is going to require something good to happen. 2 and 4, Polanco in this at bat. Fouled back 0-2. Average down to 221.
I came in at a ball game hitting only 198 as a right-handed hitter. 234 from the left side.
dealing with something he has never dealt with professionally. Throughout his minor league career, he's almost always hit in the upper 200s, low 300s. So he's not accustomed to having a prolonged slump like he's going through right now.
Well, sometimes, again, up here, you know, you see good pitching, good quality pitching every night. They get a little book on them. They're working them hard inside. Shreve has that split finger that struck out Rosario. He tried it right there when he was ahead in the count. 0-2. Now it's a 1-2 count. See if he goes back to it.
And an off-speed pitch lifted foul into the seats.
Yeah, that's that splitter again. That Sanchez is going to go out and talk to his left-hander. You can look at the splitter right there. Just left that up. You go from 93 to 94 mile-an-hour fastball to that splitter.
Yankees scoring 5 runs in the top of this inning.
Girardi in his 10th season already managing the Yankees.
Now 2-2. Started with a Sano double, then a Kepler single. They're still stuck at third and first. Popped up near the mound. Caught by Cooper. The Twins strand 2 and trail by 3. You're watching Twins baseball, presented by State Farm. Minnesota, can you step back in time and visit the home of one of Minnesota's most wealthy and influential families? The newly renovated Glensheen Mansion. A mansion is a 39-room mansion in Duluth on the shore of Lake Superior. You can plan your North Shore getaway at exploreminnesota.com and follow along on social media using hashtag #OnlyInMN.
That's beautiful.
It's a lot like the place you had in Medina a few years ago.
I think not.
Presley starting the 6th inning. Missing the inside corner, ball 1. Garrett Cooper, Ronald Torreyes, and Brett Gardner in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Cooper just in his 5th game for the Yankees.
Swing and a foul, 1-1.
Cooper getting traded on July 13th to the Yankees from the Brewers.
Craig Breslow just called up from a rehab assignment. Trevor Hildenberger joining him in the bullpen. 1-1 to Garrett Cooper. Breaking ball over.
Good curveball there.
Tigers continue to push out their lead over Kansas City and the Royals at a time when they were thought to be ready to be buyers, have hit the skids a bit. Lifted to right, plenty of airtime under it, and now Kepler's under it, 1 away. Roster moves today. Tough break for Phil Hughes. It just didn't get any better. Surgery didn't correct what was ailing him last year at this time. Craig Breslow activated from the 10-day disabled list, and Colon had to be added to the 40-man roster. That's why Hughes was put on the 60-day, and Kenny Vargas was optioned to Rochester after the game last night. Here's Torreyes, a pair of singles. Past Bauer into right field. He's got a 3-hit night. It was his single that started the 5-run outburst for the Yankees in the 5th.
Yeah, Torreyes having a good night. His 2nd season with New York from Venezuela. Originally signed by the Reds back in 2010. Got a little bit of time a couple years ago with the Dodgers. First came to the big leagues.
Paul Molitor to the mound here. Ryan Presley will check out, having faced 7 batters and giving up 3 hits. Brett Gardner will bat against Craig Breslow when we come back. Everybody having a good time behind the foul pole. And the Twins fans hoping that the Twins can come back and beat the Yankees again. It's a 6-3 ball game. And Craig Breslow will come in.
That just activated off the disabled list. Breslow making his 28th relief appearance. He's worked 29 innings so far. He's given up 34 hits, 10 walks, 1 intentional, with 18 strikeouts.
Finishing up his warm-up tosses. Partial season ticket packages are still available in the Delta Sky 360 Club and Catch. To become a Twins season ticket holder still today, become part of the Sweet Spot program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS. Breslow had some issues with his shoulder, which he attributed to his alteration in his delivery, dropping down a little more sidearm. And he'll go after Gardner here. Problem hasn't been for Breslow against lefties, but right-handers have given him a big-time problem this year. Lefties hitting just 154 against Breslow this year, and he delivers ball one to Gardner.
You can see the angle that he is down now, dropping almost sidearm. So tough on lefties, yeah, because of that new delivery.
And you can see Gardner struggled against lefties this year. 1-0. Breslow using the far third base side of the pitching rubber. Two and 0. That's to the gap in left center. And down for a hit. Rosario catches, spins, and fires, and the throw is not in time. And of course, Gardner takes advantage and scampers to second. Another ill-advised throw by Rosario. He didn't have any chance of getting Torreyes at third.
Got to know who's running too. Torreyes very quick of foot. So that ball hit in the gap. And Rosario, you want to be aggressive out there, but then you also have to be smart enough to know you want to keep the double play in order. And that takes the double play out.
You get one out in the inning. If the double play is in order, you can get out of this pretty reasonably. And now the Yankees are staring at another crooked number. Right-handers Sanchez, Judge, and Holiday due up. Let's have Hildenberger ready. They'll bring the infield in here.
Official score gave Gardner a double on that. There's not a double. That's a base hit. All the way.
Well, the double, intentionally or not, the double covers up the throwing mistake in left field. That was not a double. That would have been a single if the ball had been thrown to second base.
Yes.
Strike one. Sanchez with a two-run double his last time up.
I mentioned before, Sanchez making the All-Star team this year for his first team. First time he's made it.
And participated in the home run derby. Won the first round, lost to Miguel Sano in the second round. 1-1.
Sanchez, 24 years old. Signed by the Yankees back in 2009, 16 years old, out of the Dominican Republic.
Paul Molitor, in describing Breslow's troubles against right-handers, said he's had a hard time getting that tailing fastball over the inside part of the plate to the right-handed batters. There's a chopper to third, and Polanco makes the play. It's the second out of the inning. His left or right-handed batters, and Judge will be a perfect example of it here, tend to look out over the plate for Breslow's pitches, and he's had a hard time keeping them honest.
Yeah, they're not going to face him right here. They're going to have him go to first base.
First base open, and now an intentional walk, and Hildenberger will come in to try to get Holiday and keep this a 6-3 ball game.
And again, you can hear the Yankee fans that are here tonight booing that move, but it's the right move. Paul Molitor's coming out to make a pitching change. Second one of the inning.
The top of the 6th inning. You can join Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Lynx at Mall of America for the Let's Celebrate the Lynx event from 6 to 8 p.m. Friday, July 28th. Enjoy interactive games, register to win Lynx tickets and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on upcoming events for details. Trevor Hildenberger will come into a tight spot here. There are 2 outs, but the bases are loaded, and he's got to face Matt Holliday.
Yeah, Hillenberger made his major league debut back on June 23rd in Cleveland. 1 shutout inning, making his 8th major league appearance. Pitched a couple times in Houston, a couple of good outings. Total in those 2 outings, an inning and 2/3, no 1 run allowed, a couple hits.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Holliday has struck out twice and lined out to Kepler and right. Breaking ball, missing ball 1.
Hildenberger, 26 years old, in his 4th season in the Twins organization.
And tickled the outside corner, 1-1. Check swing. Nope. 2-1. Hildenberger's thrown a lot of off-speed stuff to Holliday and has fallen behind 2-1. Three and 1 with the bases loaded.
That fastball just missing.
Twins got their first run in the 1st inning on a bases loaded walk. Three and 2. Talked about Hildenberger in situations something like this. I don't think he'll do it here, but everything sidearm and then using the element of surprise and coming in more over the top with 2 strikes. Here he's got to throw a strike. Inside, he got a foul ball again.
He's got some movement on that fastball, but when he does stay down there, runs in on right-handers.
Another 3-2 coming to Matt Holliday. Ground ball to short. Polanco has it. Over to Mauer, and Hildenberger does a nice job. And the Yankees are scoreless in the 6th. Ball is presented by State Farm, here to help life go right with the home and auto protection you deserve.
Well, Adam Warren will be coming out of that Yankee bullpen. He's done a great job as a setup man. Very good at 1.91 earned run average in 29 relief appearances. He's worked 37 2/3 innings, allowed only 20 hits, 10 walks, 1 intentional, 37 strikeouts.
And 1 home run allowed in those 37 2/3 innings. First man he'll face, Jason Castro, then Brian Dozier and Zach Brennan. Castro doubled into the right field corner his last time up. He struck out in the second. Swing and a foul. 1 strike. Bugs flying around here at field level, as you can see. Popped up, out of play, 2 strikes. Goodness gracious, look at all those up by the lights.
Very buggy here tonight.
Two strikes to Castro, leading off the Twins' 6th inning. Breaking ball taken. 1-2. Dodgers leading the White Sox 1-0 in Chicago. Clayton Kershaw pitching for the Dodgers. Now, between tonight's game and when the Twins play the Dodgers next week, the Twins have an off day. The Dodgers do not, so it looks as if the Twins will miss Kershaw in the 3-game series at Dodger Stadium next week. He's scheduled to pitch again Sunday before the Twins start their series. Two and 2 to Castro. Dodgers are so deep in their rotation, I'm not sure it matters that much, but
well, you still want to face one of the best in baseball, and that's Kershaw.
Just off the plate. 3-1. Warren not issuing too many walks, 9 unintentional ones in 37 2/3 innings. Dozier on deck. Right there waiting for it is Torreyes in short right field. Castro retired, 1 down. And that'll bring up Dozier. Dozier walked and scored in the first, reaching a fielder's choice in the second, and hit one off the top of the scoreboard in right field. It's the 3rd time this year that that's happened. I don't recall it had happened prior to this year at all.
I don't recall either, Dick. What was the one that hit the corner and deflected down over toward the right field corner? It was in that last homestand.
Right.
I was not here.
Yep.
I was watching.
So the scoreboard has become much more in play than ever before. 1-0 to Dozier. Strike call. Indians and Giants are scoreless in the bottom of the second in San Francisco. Both teams won yesterday. The Twins started the day a 1.5 games behind Cleveland and a 1.5 games ahead of Kansas City. Foul back 1-2.
Now Warren, one of those guys that when he first came up, he was basically slated to be a starter. He came up with the Yankees back in 2012, made a start. And they put him in the bullpen, did some spot starting for him. But now in the bullpen.
2-2. Not an entomologist. I don't know what those bugs are. They look like small moths. Dozier hauled out on strikes, 2 away.
Looks like a hard slider right there, and Warren picks up a strikeout.
Let's go back to last night. There was a play involving Brian Dozier last night at second base. Force play at second. And Dozier looked at Judge after the slide, and it had nothing to do with the slide itself. I asked Brian about it. More the size of Aaron Judge. He said he turned to throw to first base, and Judge was right in on top of him, and he didn't go down early. He stayed up as late as he could, and he said he could not see any part of Joe Mauer from where he was ready to throw to first base. And so he didn't take exception to the slide at all. It was just a, good heavens, this guy's huge.
You know, we talked about it. It looked like, to me, it looked like a clean slide. I didn't realize that Brian was like, whoa.
He turned to look at first base. He couldn't find his target. He didn't know where to throw it. 2 strikes to Zach Granite. Warren with a couple of quick outs here in the 6th. Yankees have had some bullpen issues, but they haven't involved Warren. They've involved Chapman, Betances, Tyler Clippard. 1-2 to Granite. A walk, a fly ball, and a ground ball. And Granite strikes out. And Warren has a 1-2-3 6th inning. Story of the game so far tonight.
Well, big sexy Bartolo Colon started the ball game. First 3 innings outstanding. But then in the 4th inning, got some help by Brian Dozier. Dozier with a RBI triple in the 4th. That made it a 3-1 ball game. But in the 5th inning, the Yankees, Judge right there picking up an RBI single. They scored 5 times on 5 hits. And have taken that 6-3 lead. Didi Gregorius with a home run, his 12th of the year, a 2-run home run.
Trevor Hildenberger got the Twins off the field in the 6th, leaving the bases full. Not the easiest situation to bring a reliever in with the bases loaded, but Hildenberger, who's rapidly gaining confidence in the Twins dugout, got through it, fell behind Holiday, and got him. Now he'll start the 7th inning, and a little dribbler to Dozier for the first out.
A good changeup right there. Gets Gregorius out front. Gets that ground ball.
As we made mention while you were away during the telecast, you know, a lot has happened in terms of relievers coming and going over the last few weeks, but Hildenberger survived a lot of moves, including all the moves made today. Phil Hughes going on the 60-day disabled list. Breslow activated, and I think he has gained more confidence with Neil Allen and Paul Molitor. Here's a deep foul fly, 1 strike.
And that's all it is, a long strike 1.
But I liken Hildenberger's spot this year to the one Taylor Rogers was in last year. Rogers got called up earlier, but over the course of the season, he gained a lot of confidence, and both within himself and with the manager. And now look where Rogers is. He might be the most unheralded, you know, really good reliever in the league right now, and Hildenberger's off to a real good start in that direction.
And I think, Dick, what it all boils down to is what Hildenberger does and what Rogers did. You could see Hildenberger right there went more over the top with that fastball, but they're throwing strikes. They're around the plate. You know, Rogers did that last year, and he's carrying it into a next step higher this year. And they're hoping that Hildenberger can do the same. Get your feet wet, but one thing he has done, he's attacked the strike zone. Good changeup right there, gets a strikeout.
2 down, and now Chase Headley will bat. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier as you look at strike 3.
Took something off. See a little bit of at 73 miles an hour.
Hildenberger's retired all 3 batters he's faced, and now Headley. You talk about throwing strikes and the confidence shown in him. You know, Twins intentionally walked Judge. There's no place to put anybody, and Hildenberger fell behind Holiday and came back to get him on a 2-hopper to short. Now 2-0 to Headley.
You know, you move up a farm system quickly if you can attack the strike zone, and that's exactly what Hildenberger did. Now, he didn't go to spring training. He wasn't on the 40-man roster. But one thing he has done in the minor leagues, and numbers don't lie, coming into this year, 141 minor league innings in 3 seasons in the Twins system. Only 18 walks.
Right.
And 165 strikeouts.
Of course, the focus for the Twins is to win this year, but also with an eye down the road. And to use a cliche, they may have a diamond in the rough here in Trevor Hildenberger, because he's getting more high leverage situations as the season wears along, and he's passing seemingly every test. Down and away now, 3-2.
Well, a lot of movement with that pitch, that underarm type of delivery he has there. Body almost going toward the third base line, and here comes the ball.
Sano picks it up on the other side of second base, and Hildenberger faced 4 men and got the wall without the ball leaving the infield. limited baseball break. Chris Davis with a couple of home runs, including a grand slam. Michael Walker with a great effort. The Cardinals shut out the Mets. The Tigers teed off on Travis Wood, another short start for a Kansas City starter. And they're on their way to beating the Royals again here tonight. See if the Twins can come back against the Kansas City bullpen. So Mauer will lead things off in the home half of the 7th.
Yeah, there's a lot of clubs, Dick, trying to get back to 500.
Fastball at the knees, strike 1 from Warren. Mauer, Sano, and Kepler in the 7th. Warren had a 1-2-3 6th inning. Texas trying to get there, and they got shellacked by Baltimore today.
Angels, same thing. You know, you got Houston that's leading that Western Division, but Seattle, Texas, and the Angels all right there.
Toronto had gotten to 500, or what, had like 8 opportunities to get to 500 and lost the next game, and now they're 6 games below 500.
Right.
1-1 to Mauer.
Well, we've seen a assorted pitches from Warren. Good fastball. He's mixed in a slider, curveball, changeup. Has starters type stuff, and that's why he's able to go multi-innings out of that bullpen.
Harper to second.
Good sinker there.
Reyes has been kept busy. 1 away. And that'll bring up Sano. Sano hit by a pitch in the 1st, then he clobbered a home run in the 3rd and hooked a double into the left field corner in the 5th.
Warren, 29 years old. Yankees actually traded him away in 2016 to the Cubs, and then they ended up getting him back in another trade later that summer.
Now off the end of the bat, and Judge misplayed it or misread it, ends up coming in to make the catch, 2 away.
Nice shoestring catch by Judd. It's tough when you see a guy like Sano as big as he is, and then he kind of hit it right off the end of the bat. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Kepler at the plate. He's got a couple of hits. Strike over the inside corner. Scored the first 2 runs, then had a 3-1 lead until the 5th inning when the Yankees scored 5 times. Catching up with and eventually knocking out Bartolo Colon. High fastball gets a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Matt Belisle getting loose. Looks like he'll get the 8th inning. Checks 1 and 2. Further complicating things. 4 teams who are trying to stay in contention in advance of the trade deadline injury. Stephen Vogt now for the Brewers, lost for a month with a knee injury after a collision last night.
Yeah, he got hit hard at home plate.
1 and 2. Cameron Maben helped off the field tonight, popped up near second base. Gregorius is there. Warren with 2 really good innings as he faces 6 men and retires them all.
In action over at Target Field. I'm Anthony LaPanta inside Mall of America studio with this update. We go back 55 years ago today, July 18, 1962. Bob Allison and Harmon Killebrew each hit a grand slam in the first inning. It was the first time it had ever happened. It's happened 5 times since. Let's go back to the ballpark.
6-3. The Yankees have the lead as we go to the 8th inning.
That 5-run 5th inning has really hurt the Twins so far in this ballgame. Matt Belisle coming out. He's been pitching very well as of late over his last 13 appearances. 12 games since June 14th. Covered 13 innings. He's given up only 1 earned run. So even though that ERA is high, that's because he had a couple very poor outings. You give up 4 or 5 runs in an inning. As a reliever, that ERA will shoot up there.
Big pop-up near the Twins dugout. And out of play. 1 strike.
Belisle making his 39th relief appearance. Been very durable out there. 18 walks, 5 intentional, 27 strikeouts.
Twins with an 8-man bullpen. Paul Molitor talked about that in advance of the interleague games coming up in San Diego and in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. With no designated hitter, you do get 1 extra bench player that you wouldn't have in an American League game. Of course, your pitchers have to hit. And he admitted the way things are, and Joe Girardi was talking about it too, things can change from moment to moment, particularly this time of the year. Several accounts that the Yankees are ready to make a big blockbuster trade with the White Sox. Nice pickup by Sano. Over to Mauer, 1 away. Let's take a game break right now and go to Anaheim. 2 of the bright young stars in baseball facing each other. Bryce Harper against Mike Trout. So in the first inning, over Trout's leap, a home run for Harper. Then in the bottom of the inning, Trout pretty much same spot on the field.
Just a little further. Take that, Bryce Harper.
A tough blow though for the Angels as Cameron Maybin had to be helped from the field. Been playing really well for the Angels. Torreyes, the batter, he's got 3 singles in the game. Torreyes is to the Yankees what Zach Granite is to the Twins. Smaller sized player who can rack up hits very quickly. At least Torreyes has done it tonight, and Granite has done it throughout his minor league career.
Yeah, Torreyes, they have him listed at 5'8", about 150.
Granite looks like Aaron Judge compared to him. 2 down.
Now, yeah, if I'm Torreyes and I'm in the clubhouse, I don't even go near Judge. I'll walk around him.
2 down with Belisle getting a couple of quick ground ball outs. And now Brett Gardner. Indians have a run in the 3rd against San Francisco. I was listening to and watching some of the Giants game last night. They just look
dead.
Terrible. Dead. Yes, you're right. That's how they look.
A lot of mental mistakes. They've made a lot of errors.
Which is unlike a Giants team.
Right.
1-0 to Gardner.
They come into play with the other than the Phillies, the worst record in baseball, 35-59.
2-0. Phillies are on pace to lose anywhere from 105 to 110 games this year. Thanks.
30-61 coming into today's play.
And that will stay foul. 2-1. Dylan Betances getting loose.
One of the all-stars for the Yankees.
Betances has had some major control problems as of late. So we'll see if Belial can keep this a 3-run game here. 2 down in the inning, 2-1 to the batter. And now 2-2.
A big slow curveball there by Matt.
Belial pitches a clean 8th inning. Couple of ground balls and a strikeout. You're watching Flint's Baseball presented by State Farm.
Lead over the Twins to start the bottom of the 8th inning at Target Field. Coming up after the final out, as always, we will bring you Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. And tonight we're going to take a look at Bartolo Colon and his Twins debut. Colon pitched 4+ innings for the Twins tonight, gave up 8 hits and 4 runs. Tim Laudner will help break down how that start went and what it looked like. Didi Gregorius has delivered for the Yankees tonight, a 3-for-4 night with a couple of runs scored for Didi. And Paul Molitor will give us his thoughts after the game as well, all coming up on Twins Live. Dick and Bert.
All right, thank you, Marty.
Yes, thank you, Marty.
Dellin Betances comes into the ball game. Look at the number of walks, 26 of them in 30 and a third innings.
But then also look at the strikeouts. I mean, this hard throwing a right-hander, you don't know what you're going to get. What you're going to get is something hard. 57 strikeouts in 30 and a third innings, and the 26 walks. He's allowed only 14 hits, 1 home run.
And Grossman pulls it into the corner. High hit, that'll go for extra bases. And Grossman swinging away, starts the 8th with a double.
Twins picking up a lot of extra base hits here tonight. I mean, Grossman picking up a double, his 15th of the year. Fastball inside.
Betances had an outing a few days before the All-Star break where he faced 6 men, walked 4 of them, and hit 1, and had to be taken out of the game. And you look at his minor league history, and he was that guy, and for a few years he was able to get his control under control. And now it's starting to waver again. Here is Rosario with Grossman at second. Breaking ball inside. His breaking ball has always been, to me, a swing and miss, a chase pitch. Now, to do that, to use that effectively, you've got to get ahead with the fastball.
Right.
And he hasn't been able to do that. 1-0 to Rosario. And because he's had a hard time controlling his fastball, he started this at bat with back-to-back breaking balls that have missed. Polanco on deck.
Yeah, Betances, 29 years old. He's made 4 All-Star teams already for the Yankees. This is his 6th season. I mean, look at the fastball right there.
100, and Rosario, I don't think, thought it caught the corner.
Well, you think that 6'8" frame reminds me a lot of a guy that I pitched with in Pittsburgh inside. But Scott Berry, the home plate umpire, said it was a strike. Jim Bibby.
Oh, yeah.
Big old Bibby.
And now a breaking ball that bends over, and it's 2-2. I never saw in person James Rodney Richard of the Astros, but another big guy. This pitch was a strike. Betances had a bout of control problems in the All-Star game. 2-2. Right down the middle at 100. So Rosario strikes out looking, which doesn't happen very often. 1 down, and now Polanco will be pinch hit for by Escobar.
Betances in the All-Star game worked the 3rd inning. He gave up a hit, a couple walks, but also a couple strikeouts. Wow, fastball right there, and Rosario knew it.
Last night in the 8th inning, Escobar got a big pinch hit RBI single. Two for 8 as a pinch hitter. Twins have had opportunities here, particularly in the 5th inning, to jump right back into the game and perhaps the lead, but they haven't been able to get any clutch hits. That's the pitch that Escobar has a hard time laying off, but he did there for ball 1. A little easier to lay it off the pitch if it's coming at you 100 miles per hour.
Well, Escobar got the big hit in last night's ball game that kind of opened up the game. His pinch hit RBI single in the 8th inning.
And now here we go. Fastballs off the plate. Up and away, 2-0. Miles per hour and a swing and a miss. Betances had a year, it was just 2012 in the minor leagues, where he pitched 74 2/3 innings in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and walked 69 men, nearly a walk per inning. 2-1, and Escobar gets time. Tigers beat the Royals 9-3. And that hit him. A breaking ball that got Escobar in the foot, and now Castro comes to the plate as the tying run. Grossman will have to go back to second. But the Twins are one swing away from tying the ball game.
Yeah, slider down and in. Escobar tried to get out of the way. Ball hit the ground, then hits the shin of Escobar. Oh, hit the foot.
Top of the foot. Castro 1 for 3, doubled into the right field corner. At the knees, strike one. Consistently at 100 miles per hour.
Well, Yankee bullpen combined 3.51 ERA. Only the Indians and the Boston Red Sox have a lower earned run average out of that bullpen. Warren, 2 shutout innings.
Breaking ball inside. Sanchez trying to encourage Betances. The Yankees have really struggled after having been in first place for a long while. They've really struggled the last 3-4 weeks, and the bullpen's been a big reason for that. Chapman's had some problems. Clippard really struggling in his 7th inning duty and taken out of that role. One and one to Jason Castro. Breaking ball over. We're talking about last 29 games, an ERA of 4.59.
Just look at all the blown save opportunities. 18 saves and 36 save opportunities.
If Castro hits a home run here, this would be another blown save opportunity on Betances' ledger. Swing and miss. 101. 2 down.
Betances picks up his 2nd strikeout.
And now Dozier. So for the most part, he's done a decent job throwing strikes. There have been no walks. He did hit Escobar with a breaking ball. And Dozier with 15 home runs has an RBI triple tonight. 15 pitches for Betances, 8 strikes. Dozier's triple went to right center field off the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I asked earlier who hit that corner of the scoreboard. It was Eduardo Escobar that hit that corner.
That got the triple.
Right.
Yep.
And the Orioles were in town.
The only other guy who had done that and gotten a triple was Jim Thome a long time ago. Figured something weird would have to happen for Thome to get a triple. 1-0 to Dozier. A foot and a half off the plate. Seventeen pitches, 8 strikes. And if nothing else, he's put Dozier in a really good hitter's count. At the knees, 2-1.
And you see the angle at 6'8" you can generate if you keep that ball down.
Two and one to Brian Dozier. 3-1. Granite on deck.
See if Brian can catch up to this fastball.
Breaking ball missed. They're loaded up for Granite.
He didn't want to make a mistake right there to Dozier.
A hit batter and a walk after a double, and they're loaded up. Here comes Larry Rothschild. You can join Brian Dozier and the Twins at Target Field for Sportsman's Night Saturday, August 5th, as we celebrate Pheasant Forever's 35th anniversary. Each ticket purchased through this special theme night ticket package will include an exclusive blaze orange camo reversible Twins beanie. You can wear it one side for pheasant hunting or deer hunting. You can turn it inside out and go duck hunting if you'd like, or turkey hunting. Plus, a portion of each ticket will go to support Pheasants Forever. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/sportsmansnight. You didn't expect, at least I didn't, that this would be a clean inning. Grossman started it with a double. There's been a hit batter and a walk, and now Zach Granite to the plate. Granite walked his first time up. Since then, a fly ball, a ground ball, and a strikeout. Looking for his third and biggest big league hit. Inside, ball one. Chapman warming up. The Yankees aren't going to let this deteriorate any more than it already has. One and 0 to Granite. A drive to right center field. Judge gets there. Granite nearly emptied the bases in the gap, and Betances survives his wildness. The Yankees still lead by 3. Can turn it around. That means tomorrow will be the rubber game. As you look at our CenturyLink, what's next? Jordan Montgomery, left-hander, going for the Yankees, and Jose Barrios will be going for the Twins.
Yeah, 2 youngsters. Montgomery in his rookie season. Barrios looking to have a better outing than he had in his last one in Houston. Shortest outing of the season.
Gary Sanchez will lead off the 9th against Matt Belisle, who had a quick 1-2-3-8, so he'll be given the chore of doing the same thing in the 9th. If he can, swing and a miss, 1 strike.
Eduardo Escobar, who pinched hit for Polanco, stays in a ball game, taking over for Polanco at short.
One strike. It's off the end of the bat. Granite can't get there. Sanchez is aboard with his second hit. Cracked his bat, it sounded like. But Sanchez is aboard, and that'll bring up Aaron Judge. Picking up pieces of Sanchez's bat.
Bat went down a winner. Brett Sanchez a base hit.
Judge with a couple of singles, an intentional walk, 2 runs scored. Joe Girardi saying Judge is not going to play tomorrow, so Barrios won't have to face him. At least that was the plan before game time today. Belial gets ahead. One and 2. Belial having another effective outing here. He's gotten 5 outs from 5 batters.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Looked like a 2-seamer that came in on Judge. Hit that ground ball to Escobar. Little shovel quick pass to Dozier, and they complete the double play. First double play of the ball game.
Matt Holliday's 0 for 4. A couple of strikeouts, a ground out. Made a bid for a hit. Kepler robbed him with a diagonal diving catch in right field. Strike 1 to Holliday. I think what we've seen, Bert, is Belial able to place the ball where he wants to. And we talk about the lack of location for Ryan Presley, and he throws 96. And when you only throw 91 or 92 like Belial, it's even more important.
Well, Matt's always been a guy that's always had pretty good control. He has a good idea what he wants to do out there. He stays back well over the pitching rubber, creates that good downward plane. Knows he's not going to blow anybody away, so he's got to make his pitches down. Now they're going inside. Ball left out over the plate. He fouls it off.
Tyler Clippard is warming up along with Aroldis Chapman. Guess is if the Yankees get another run, they'll hand the ball to Clippard. Otherwise, it's a save opportunity for Chapman. It's to right, and Kepler again catches a line drive off the bat of Holliday. To the bottom of the ninth, it's 6-3 New York. With a 5-run 5th inning, chasing Bartolo Colon and doing some damage against Ryan Presley as well. And the Twins will send up Mauer, Sano, and Kepler to face Aroldis Chapman trying to pick up a save. Bullpen's empty. The Yankees think this game is over.
Chapman has 9 of the 18 saves out of that bullpen, making his 27th relief appearance. 22 and 2/3 innings, 10 walks, 2 intentional, 35 strikeouts. Hard going lefty.
Mauer is 2 for 4 against him, including an incredible at bat years ago in Cincinnati when the Twins forced Chapman to blow a save when he was still pitching for the Reds. Mauer had a great at bat, ended up with a double. And then a couple pitches later, Josh Willingham hit one about 600 feet to left field. We'll see if Mauer can get things started here in the ninth. Sano and Kepler, and then we're going to need a few more to hit here in the bottom of the ninth. Ball 1. He's had a chance in the 8th inning. Had the tying run at the plate in 3 different plate appearances. Chapman's had some control issues, as you saw, with the 10 walks in 22 and 2/3 innings. 98 at the belt, 1-1.
Basically what you're going to get is that good fastball, hard slider.
Two and one to Mauer. Swings through the fastball. 2-2.
A lot of those saves coming with the Cincinnati Reds when he first came up in 2012.
Fouled away. It's hard to pull 101 miles per hour. And years ago in Cincinnati, Mauer did drive a double to the left field corner in Cincinnati to set up Willingham's heroics. So you just finished seeing a right-hander, Betances, throw over 100. And now Chapman just hit 101 with that fastball. One under the armpits. 3-2. Sano on deck. Scott Berry trying to remind Chapman that the count is 3-2. Missed badly. And the Twins get a leadoff man on again against this Yankee bullpen. Sano with a home run and a double. He's also hit by a pitch his first time up. As hard as it will be for Sano to do this, once in my lifetime I want to see someone throw 101 miles per hour and have someone as big and strong as Sano hit it flush.
No.
I just want to see that once in my lifetime. 2-0.
I always thought that every time Nolan Ryan pitched, you know, a big strong guy trying to catch up to that 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Mauer has already walked. Half swing but a strike. I think it would have been a call to strike anyway. 2-1. Fouled back. 2-2.
Now Chapman signed to a long-term contract by the Yankees. Last year started with the Yankees, then went to the Cubs.
That gets by the catcher. Mauer will go to second base, and it's a full count now to Sano. And if he reaches, then Kepler represents the tying run. With the roster moves made yesterday, the one power threat the Twins might have had on the bench, Kenny Vargas, is gone. He's back in Rochester. So the Twins will have as bench players here in the ninth inning, having already used Escobar, Chris Jimenez, and A-Ray Adrianza.
Yeah, Chapman charged with a wild pitch there, allowing Mauer to get to second. His third wild pitch of the year.
Full count to Miguel Sano. High chopper over the mound. And Torres makes the play. Mauer to third. One away. And now Kepler. And the supreme test for any left-handed batter. Standing in there against Chapman.
I think what we've seen out of Betances and also Chapman, and if you're a hitter up there, yeah, you're looking fastball because of that's their bread and butter. But the inconsistency of their control makes you a little timid up there.
mph. Kepler flips it foul. Had a leadoff double, follow-up single in the fifth, didn't score. And the leadoff double in the eighth, ended up filling the bases but didn't score. Now a leadoff walk. Chopped to third. Headley 2 away, and that'll leave the game up to Grossman. Grossman hit that leadoff double in the eighth against Betances. Drilled it into the corner and right. And if Grossman prolongs the game, then Chris Jimenez will hit for Eddie Rosario. Jimenez in the foreground, Grossman in the background. It's hit to right, but right at Aaron Judge, and the Yankees have even this series at a game apiece.
Well, the one inning, bad inning for the Twins, the fifth inning. Bartolo Colon went 4 innings plus, and the Yankees scored 5 times in the fifth.
Tom Hanneman and Bartolo Colon created quite a buzz here, and he got through the first 3 innings in good shape, but then the Yankees busted it open. So we've got a rubber game coming up tomorrow.
Dick, the Yankees improved to 20-7 all-time at Target Field with a 6-3 win. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk a lot about what Bartolo Colon did tonight. Didi Gregorius for the Yankees here from Paul Molitor, and preview the finale tomorrow.